Chapter 2061. Qin Fan immediately calmed down. Since the martial domain was in existence in the form of a thought body and could not be killed or destroyed, what did he have to worry about? With just a thought, Qin Fan's shattered body reformed and healed. He was revived on the spot. Gao Mingxi revealed a shocked expression and stared at Qin Feng for a moment before saying, "Huh? Aren't you dead? How did he come back to life?" Qin Fan was dumbfounded. He began to wonder if the Gao Mingxi in the martial field was a simulation. It felt no different from the real Gao Mingxi. "Master. Although the martial realm is a battle simulation, the experience is extremely realistic. Not only can this space simulate the opponent's cultivation level, but it can also simulate their IQ, voice, appearance, and body shape to make them look real," Little Pig said. Qin Feng finally had a deep understanding of the strength of the martial domain. If he tempered himself here, his strength would definitely soar. "Little ant, if worst comes to worst, I'll just kill you again. It's just a matter of raising my hand." Gao Mingxi's furious roar rang in Qin Feng's ears, and he immediately woke up. A giant hand made of true essence fell from the sky like a huge mountain. Without thinking, Qin Feng spread out the battlefield and temporarily trapped the violent true essence aura of the giant hand. "Little ant, you dare to use this move against me? Break for me." Gao Mingxi sneered and immediately burned a mouthful of blood. True essence crazily surged from his body, and after several breaths of time, there was a loud explosion at the edge of the arena as Gao Mingxi rushed out. The floating true essence giant hand fell to the ground and blasted Qin Fan 100 meters away. This scene was exactly the same as his previous battle with Gao Mingxi. There was no chance of survival. In the martial domain, Qin Fan's consciousness form did not wear the life immortal armor. Unexpectedly, it was directly destroyed by the power of Gao Mingxi's palm. When he saw this scene, he felt a lingering fear in his heart. His destroyed body quickly recovered and once again stood in front of Gao Mingxi. How did you resurrect? You have an immortal body?" Gao Mingxi was dumbfounded. Qin Feng sneered and said, "Cut the crap, let's fight again." Gao Mingxi was furious. He was a cauldron-filling stage 8, but he couldn't even kill a body condensation state intermediate stage ant? If this matter were to spread out, wouldn't he be laughed at to death? That seemingly light palm strike caused half the sky to tremble. A huge Zhenyuan palm print covered the sky like clouds and mist, and Qin Fan once again displayed the field. But it was a little different from last time. The moment he trapped the Zhenyuan big hand on the spot, Qin Feng leaped into the sky and instantly arrived behind Gao Mingxi. With a wave of his hand, the Tsang Qi brought with it a wave of purple saber qi. Gao Mingxi immediately burned his blood essence to break out of the field, but just as he flew to the edge of the field, he was hit by the saber light, and a loud noise came from his body. "Ayaya! An ant like you actually dared to injure this old man?" Under the explosion, Gao Mingxi's clothes were tattered, and his white hair was disheveled. He looked like a madman, no longer having the demeanor of an expert from before. That blade did not cause much damage to him, only some superficial wounds. However, he felt that his dignity had been ruthlessly trampled on. He turned around and slashed again. Puchi. This was the second time Qin Feng had seen Gao Mingxi attack, but his body was still instantly destroyed. His opponent's saber qi was too fast and extremely stealthy, making it impossible for anyone to figure out its trajectory. "Ah! An ant like you also dared to provoke this old man's dignity. You can't even resist the power of this old man's saber. It's really ridiculous." Seeing Qin Feng die, Gao Mingxi looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. But halfway through his laughter, a familiar voice came to his ear. "Oh, really? When did I die? Why didn't I know?" Gao Mingxi's old eyes widened, and he looked at Qin Feng standing in front of him in disbelief. He had forgotten how many times he had killed Qin Feng. How could this ant still be alive? "An ant like you, if this old man can't kill you, I will change my surname to yours." Gao Mingxi was completely furious. The big saber in his hand slashed down, and the saber qi surged. Puchi. This time, Qin Feng's left arm was directly cut off, but he was pleasantly surprised because he found some clues in his opponent's saber skill, and it was with that discovery that he avoided Gao Mingxi's killing blow. "You actually dodged my saber power?" In the martial domain, Gao Mingxi was going crazy. The saber turned, and a new saber light blended into the air and flew over. Qin Feng's right arm was cut off, but he showed an even more joyful expression. He understood the mystery of the Gao family's phantom saber, which could transform the saber qi into shape and hide in the void. Previously, in the 5th level of the 9 Heaven Snow domain, Gao Mingxi transformed the saber qi into a blizzard. Now in the martial domain he transformed the saber chi into chaotic chi. His saber power was originally fierce and turbulent, and it was invisible. When the opponent discovered the danger, it was already in a situation of certain death. No matter how fast his reaction was, he would be cut off like Qin Feng. Gao Mingxi's eyes were full of frost when he failed to kill Qin Feng with 2 saber strikes. However, when he slashed for the 3rd time, a strange magnetic field fluctuated in the air. This time, Qin Feng did not set up the field to trap Gao Mingxi. The scope of the field only extended to a range of 100 meters in front of him. As soon as the field was formed, Qin Feng immediately released his divine sense and clearly captured the hidden saber chi. Swish! This time, the saber power missed, and there was a harsh sound of breaking wind. Gao Mingxi looked incredulously at Qin Feng, who had lost his arms but could still avoid his saber power, and said in surprise, "How did you do it?" What answered Gao Mingxi was the Zhangqi saber. The bright purple light disappeared, and there was not even the slightest movement in the air. It felt like an ordinary child's saber strike, without any aura fluctuations. But in the next second, Gao Mingxi's expression changed dramatically. He seemed to want to raise his hand to stop something, but before he could complete his action, a loud explosion came from his body. Rumble. The purple light only appeared when it fell on Gao Mingxi's body. The saber chi surged and shook Gao Mingxi back a few steps. The true weapon armor on his body cracked, and he couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Oh yeah! Qin Feng cheered in his heart. He finally found a chance to fight back. Even if he had burst out with all his strength, he could only cause slight damage to Gao Mingxi, but this was already a big breakthrough. Ayaya. You little ant, I want you to die a horrible death. Gao Mingxi showed a crazy expression, and the long saber in his hand danced wildly, instantly forming a surging saber chi whirlpool, surging like a tsunami. The fierce saber power made Qin Feng breathless. He had no room to dodge and was instantly drowned in the surging saber chi wave. This won't do, the gap between me and that old monster is too big. I can't kill him with just martial arts and understanding of the field. Qin Feng was full of depression. He thought about going into closed-door cultivation first. If he could step into the late stage of body condensation stage, he might have a chance to fight. But the situation was critical now. If he disappeared for too long, Gao Tianxiang and Gao Mingxi would definitely capture Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu first. Master, try breaking Gao Mingxi's defensive armor first, Little Pig suddenly reminded. Qin Feng was a bit confused, and his eyes fell on Gao Mingxi's armor. It was a low-grade true weapon defensive armor, which was nothing in Qin Feng's eyes. Gao Mingxi was a cauldron-filling late stage, and this level of armor looked a bit shabby on him. Master. Gao Mingxi is a cauldron-filling late stage, but he is wearing a low-grade true weapon armor. Don't you think it's strange? Little Pig said. It's indeed strange, but what does this have to do with me killing him? Qin Feng was puzzled. Master, look carefully at that armor. It is a mystic fire attribute true weapon armor. It should be used to resist the cold. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he showed a look of realization. Now that he had come to the 5th layer of the snow region, Qin Feng already felt cold. Even with the heaven fire spirit sunflower protecting his body was shivering. Also, Qin Feng learned from Fang Shu that the cultivators who came to the 9 heavens snow region would wear several armors, and it would be best if there was a fire attribute armor. From the looks of it, Gao Mingxi's low-grade true artifact armor was used to resist the cold. If this mystic flame armor was broken, Gao Mingxi would be affected by the extreme cold environment of the snow region and his cultivation would definitely drop. After thinking about the pros and cons, Qin Feng resurrected again, and after a few battles he found that he had a way to break Gao Mingxi's mystic fire armor. However, the martial field was located in a chaotic space. Even if Gao Mingxi's armor was broken, it would not be affected by the environment. However, Qin Feng found that after his mystic fire armor was broken, he changed it into a high-grade true weapon armor. From this, it could be seen that Gao Mingxi did have a better grade of armor. It was just that those armors were not fire attribute, so wearing them in the 9 heavens snow region had no effect. Junior brother, did you find that ant? In the 5th layer of the snow region, Gao Mingxi flew for thousands of miles, but still did not find Qin Feng's figure. Helplessly he rushed back to the place where Qin Feng disappeared. Gao Tianxiang did not look for him at all. He stayed where he was, waiting for Gao Mingxi to come back. He still thought that Qin Feng was killed and the treasures were taken by his senior brother. Senior brother Mingxi, if you want to take the treasures for yourself, then take them for yourself. There are only 2 months left before the opening of the snow region. We should go find the entrance to the higher layer of the snow region. Gao Qinxiang said in a strange tone. Gao Mingshi's face turned cold as he scolded, "How many times do I have to say it? That ant disappeared and I didn't get anything." Gao Qinxiang curled his lips and said no more. Since his senior brother was determined to take everything for himself, it was useless to say anything more. "I'll guard here. You go find the two disciples and then meet up with me." Gao Mingshi was still unwilling. That was an immortal weapon armor. Although Gao Qinxiang was reluctant in his heart, but his realm was not as good as his senior brother, so he had to fly away on his sword. Not long after Gao Qinxiang left, a person flew out of the void. Gao Mingshi suddenly stood up from the snow and stared at the sky incredulously with a pair of old eyes. "Where did you hide, Ant?" The cultivator who came in the air was Qin Feng, which was completely beyond Gao Mingshi's expectations. He had just swept the nearby snow region with his divine sense a few seconds ago, but he did not find Qin Feng. "It doesn't matter where I went. The important thing is that I'm back." Qin Feng was confident. Gao Mingshi felt that he seemed to be a different person. He wondered, "What can you do even if you're back?" "Of course I can kill you," Qin Feng shouted. Chapter 2062. Gao Mingshi was taken aback for a moment and then burst out laughing. "Ha! Did I hear it wrong? You want to kill me? Have you lost your mind?" Qin Feng said with a serious face, "I'm not crazy. You're just at the late stage of the cauldron-filling state. Why can't I kill you?" Gao Mingshi stopped laughing and looked at Qin Feng suspiciously. He wanted to find flaws in Qin Feng's subtle expressions or eyes, but Qin Feng's face was serious and did not seem to be joking. But this was clearly a big joke. A cultivator in the middle stage of the body condensation stage wanted to kill a late stage of the cauldron-filling state? No one would believe it no matter which continent of the divine supreme continent it was. Moreover, a cauldron-filling state cultivator was already considered to be at the top of the divine supreme continent. Even if there were disaster transformation, true form, and even true god powerhouses, how many of them were there in the vast divine supreme continent? However, Qin Feng said that a cauldron-filling state cultivator was worthless. In Gao Mingshi's opinion, it was really arrogant. An ant that doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth, this old man will let you see the horror of a lower cauldron-filling state cultivator. Gao Mingshi was too lazy to talk nonsense and slammed his palm. This scene was exactly the same as the situation in the martial domain, and Qin Feng did not know how many times he had experienced such a scene in the martial domain. His expression did not change in the slightest. He displayed the field with ease and then slashed the ruler towards the edge of the field. There was a loud explosion. Qin Feng's movements were smooth and smooth. When the surging blade aura exploded on his body, Gao Mingshi's old eyes almost stared at the ground. He stared at Qin Feng incredulously and shouted, "How is this possible? How did you know that I was going to burn my blood essence to force my way out of the field?" Qin Feng smiled without saying a word and then slashed again. Although he found a way to break Gao Mingshi's mysterious fire armor in the martial domain, it was also an extremely difficult act. He had to grasp every minute and second, and the slightest mistake would result in his death. As Qin Feng expected, Gao Mingshi was enraged and slashed with his long blade after a roar. In the blizzard, Qin Feng could not see the blade aura. Qin Feng immediately displayed the field and found that there was a violent blade aura hidden in the blizzard. Rumble. Gao Mingshi's entire person was stunned when the saber chi missed. Ever since he cultivated the Gao family illusion blade to the phenomenal success stage, no one under the same cultivation level could dodge his blade force. Even cauldron-filling state cultivators would be at a disadvantage. He didn't expect a body condensation state middle stage ant to break it. "How did you do it?" Gao Mingshi even forgot to continue attacking. Qin Feng smirked coldly. "Everything was within his control. Didn't you use the Gao family's phantom blade once before?" "I've learned it." "This is impossible. The Gao family's phantom saber is profound and unfathomable. I've trained hard for decades to master it, but you can understand its essence just by looking at it once? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old kid?" Gao Mingshi wouldn't believe it even if she was beaten to death. Qin Feng said nonchalantly, "You've cultivated for dozens of years because your aptitude is too poor. If you don't believe me, then open your dog eyes wide and take a good look." Whoosh. As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he swung his ruler. The originally resplendent purple saber light did not appear, and there was not even a trace of saber aura in the wind and snow. Gao Mingshi stood in the snow as if he was a puppet whose soul had been sucked out. The moment Qin Feng swung his blade, he realized that Qin Feng wasn't lying. This ant had only seen him use the phantom blade once and could understand the essence of the technique. In just a breath, A loud sound exploded on Gao Mingxi's body. He could have dodged this strike, but he was so shocked that he didn't even have the intention to dodge. Qin Feng's full force strike didn't cause much damage to Gao Mingxi. The latter spat out a mouthful of blood and took 2 steps back before standing in the snow as if nothing had happened. However, Qin Feng didn't care about Gao Mingxi's injury. He used his divine sense to scan the mystic fire armor and found that there were many cracks on the armor. He was overjoyed. I really underestimated you, Ant. You're only at body condensation state level 4, but you can injure me. Even in the entire West Sea continent, you're a top genius cultivator of the same generation. Unfortunately, you're blind and offended me. Only death awaits you. Gao Mingxi's old eyes shot out light again with infinite murderous intent. Qin Feng didn't wait for him to talk nonsense. He quickly swung his ruler dozens of times, then shot out several spirit sunflower flames and took out the 100-mile light sniper to bombard him. 3 powerful attacks landed at the same time, blasting countless holes in the snowy ground. The current 100-mile light sniper was powered by a super energy stone, and its power was boundless. When Qin Feng threw out all of his trump cards, the ferocious attack gave Gao Mingxi a fright. He didn't even have time to use his sword skills. His body was constantly hit, and like a drunkard he stumbled back. Rumble. After a full incense stick of time, the explosion finally subsided. Gao Mingxi's robe was tattered, his hair was disheveled, and he looked extremely embarrassed. He no longer had the demeanor of an expert. But he grinned and a crazy smile appeared on his face. Ah, don't be unconvinced that you're an ant. So what if I stand here and let you attack? Can you kill this old man? Qin Feng already knew in the martial domain that it was difficult for him to kill the opponent with his current cultivation. His divine sense swept toward Gao Mingxi's mystic fire armor. The armor was covered with dense cracks of spider silk. As Gao Mingxi's aura soared, it completely turned into pieces and scattered everywhere. Ah, who said I was killing you? I just wanted to break your armor. Qin Feng heaved a long sigh of relief. His first step had been completed. Gao Mingxi's expression changed greatly. He immediately looked at his body. When he realized that the mystic fire armor was broken and blown up, anger and nervousness flickered in the depths of his old eyes. Without the mystic fire armor, Gao Mingxi's body was immediately covered by the wind and snow. A layer of ice formed on his face, and his appearance could no longer be seen. Ayaya. You reckless ant, how dare you trick me? If I don't kill you today, I'll go back to farming in seclusion. Gao Mingxi was burning with anger, and his body suddenly burst into raging flames. He had turned into a man of fire. Walking in this world of ice and snow looked extremely strange. But the flames were quickly extinguished, and some were even frozen in the wind and snow. Flames were frozen in the layer of ice, and the scene was incomparably magical. Gao Mingxi was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He wanted to kill Qin Feng by burning his blood essence, but it turned out that he had underestimated the cold weather of the 5th layer of the snow region. It was not a place that people should come to. Gao Mingxi, today is the day you die. Qin Feng immediately noticed Gao Mingxi's abnormality and slashed down with his ruler. When the dazzling purple blade light appeared, it had already exploded around Gao Mingxi. Without the mystic fire armor, he felt that his cultivation had plummeted, and he didn't even have a chance to fight back. Isn't this guy's change too big? Qin Feng was surprised. Little Pig said quickly, Master. We all underestimated the power of the 9 Heavens snow region. The bad weather here is extraordinary. If not for the spirit sunflower heavenly fire armor, I'm afraid Master would have frozen to death. Chapter 2063. Gao Mingxi was sullen. He was a cauldron-filling realm level 8, but he was being beaten by a body condensation realm 4. But there was nothing he could do. After the mystic flame armor broke, a bone-chilling cold crazily surged forth. He had no choice but to use a portion of his true essence to protect his body in order to resist the extremely harsh cold environment. Even his movements and reaction speed had slowed down. Stop fighting, I can let you go. You can leave now, Gao Mingxi suddenly shouted. Qin Feng sneered. The ruler in his hand kept swinging, and the 1,000-mile ray sniper was also bombarding him. You're in a dead end now. Do I need to run? Gao Mingxi couldn't accept the reality, but he had to learn to accept it. He could even feel death approaching. He couldn't remember how long it had been since he last felt it. At this moment, Gao Mingxi's eyes lit up. He even gave up resisting and stared at Qin Feng. You're just a body condensation realm 4, but you have the ability to kill me. You have an immortal armor and you've comprehended a field. Which sector you from? Qin Feng thought Gao Mingxi was playing some kind of trick, so he didn't care about his reaction at all. His powerful attacks didn't stop at all. You really are from that sect. I didn't expect you to come out again. Looks like the divine continent's millennium calamity is coming. It doesn't matter if I die sooner or later. The panic in Gao Mingxi's eyes disappeared and he looked relieved. Qinfen was curious. He didn't think Gao Mingxi was pretending. Which sect are you talking about? Qinfen asked. You don't need to hide anymore. You must be from the Kobe sect. How many cultivators did you send to the West Sea continent? Gao Mingxi seemed to have seen through everything. Qinfen was depressed. He had no idea what Gao Mingxi was talking about. But he had heard of the Kobe sect. It was a sect founded by the strongest cultivator in the divine continent, King Void God. It was located in the Eastfield continent. I don't know what you're talking about. Go to hell in peace. Qinfen didn't want to talk anymore. Several balls of heavenly fire shot out, followed by a heavy blow from the ruler. Gao Mingxi didn't dodge at all. He looked up at the sky and sighed. The Kobe sect's reappearance in the martial world will bring bloodshed to the divine continent. I'm curious, does the Kobe sect really have a system inheritance? Rumble. As soon as Gao Mingxi finished speaking, a violent explosion spread around him. When he heard the word, system, Qinfen's expression changed drastically. He wanted to ask Gao Mingxi a few more questions, but he discovered that this cauldron-filling 8th-level almighty had already died. System inheritance? What is that? Qinfeng muttered to himself. He could not help but think of the largest public city in the South Flat continent, Tiantong City. The 4 great elders there all had systems. Qinfen couldn't figure out the answers to these questions in such a short amount of time, so he hurriedly tossed aside his jumbled thoughts and hurried toward the place where he'd met Gao Jin and the others. He wondered how Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu were doing. Half a day later, Qinfeng returned to the snow-covered land and saw Gao Tianxiang chasing after Fang Shu and Red Dust Dance. You 2 ants, hurry up and surrender. Otherwise, when this old man catches you, I will make you suffer a fate worse than death. Gao Tianxiang did not put the 2 of them in his eyes at all. His body constantly surged with violent true essence. Clearly, the 2 of them had been on the run for some time. Both of them were injured. Qinfeng thought that if he had come a few hours later, Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu would have died without a doubt. Swoosh. Just as Qinfeng rushed over, Song Qi slashed through the air. There was no beautiful purple light in the air, and it was difficult to even detect the fluctuations of true essence. However, after a few breaths, Gao Tianxiang, who was flying through the air, suddenly stopped. He did not even have time to swing his saber in defense. The purple light flashed and disappeared, and a loud sound exploded around him. Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu were stunned, and they turned around to look. When they saw Qinfeng appear and injure Gao Tianxiang with a single slash, they were so shocked that their eyeballs fell to the ground. It's you, you ant? You're still alive? After Gao Tianxiang recognized Qinfeng, he even wondered if he was dreaming. However, he quickly threw his head back and laughed wildly. Ah! I didn't expect senior brother to be telling the truth. I really let an ant like you escape. The heavens really have eyes, sending you to this old man of your own accord. Gao Tianxiang did not understand the situation at all. If he knew that senior brother Gao Mingxi had been killed by Qinfeng, he would definitely be scared to death. Senior Qin, you're not that guy's match. Hurry up and run. The 3 of us should run in different directions. That way at least 2 of us will have a chance to survive. Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu did not think Qinfeng's chances were good. The difference in cultivation level between Qinfeng and Gao Tianxiang was too great. Qinfeng did not care. He raised his hand and the ruler fell again. Rumble. Before Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu could see where the saber energy was, a loud sound exploded in the air. This time, Gao Tianxiang dodged the saber energy, but his face was full of shock. You used the Gao family's phantom saber? Where did you secretly learn it from? Qinfeng sneered. Huh. Do I need to secretly learn such a simple saber technique? When I killed Gao Mingxi, that old bastard attacked me twice and I learned it. There was too much information in this sentence. Gao Tianxiang was completely stunned, but he quickly laughed wildly again. What did you say? You killed senior brother Mingxi? Ah. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? With your IQ, I think you're even lower than a 3-year-old child. You're obviously going to die, but you don't have the slightest awareness. As soon as Qinfeng finished speaking, he released the battlefield. Gao Tianxiang's laughter stopped abruptly, and a look of horror and disbelief appeared on his face. He did not even have time to say a word before he was killed in the explosion. Even though they saw it with their own eyes, Fang Shu and Hong Chen-Wu found it hard to believe that a second-stage cauldron-filling state expert had died so easily. After killing Gao Tianxiang, Qin Feng did not even bother to look at him. It was not the first time he had killed a cauldron-filling state expert. Before Gao Tianxiang, he had killed several cauldron-filling state experts. "Are you okay?" Qin Feng landed beside the two of them. Fang Shu suddenly woke up. "Senior Qin. You killed Gao Tianxiang, the young elder of the Gao family?" Qin Feng said indifferently, "I also killed Gao Mingxi." The two of them gasped. Although Qin Fen had told Gao Tianxiang that he had killed Gao Mingxi, Fang Shu and Hong Chen-Wu hadn't believed him at all. They thought that it was Qin Fen's tactic to disrupt Gao Tianxiang's state of mind. However, after witnessing Qin Fen's invincible might in killing Gao Tianxiang, the two of them felt that he was telling the truth. What about the remaining two disciples of the Gao family? Qin Feng changed the topic, unwilling to explain more about killing Gao Mingxi. Hong Chen-Wu said, "Those two have been killed by me and senior brother Fang Shu." Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't care about the two body condensation state primary stage Gao disciples, but he couldn't let them get away. They knew he had an immortal artifact armor. If the news got out, it would cause a lot of trouble. Chapter 2064. Fang Shu, are the people from the Gao family all dead? Chang Ru suddenly flew down from a snowy mountain with a pitiful look on her face. The joy in Fang Shu's eyes disappeared in an instant. He stood expressionlessly in the snow and said, "Chang Ru, from now on we are strangers. Take care of yourself." Chang Ru hurriedly hugged Fang Shu's arm and cried, "Senior brother Fang Shu, don't you recognize junior sister Chang Ru anymore? The reason why I followed Gao Jin is because I have an unspeakable difficulty. When Gao Jin came to the White faction to propose marriage, even the sect leader didn't dare to reject him. I had no choice but to leave with him. In fact, the person I've been thinking about day and night for the past few years is you, senior brother." This woman's acting skills were really good. She spoke as if she was telling the truth. If she were on Earth, she would definitely be an award-winning actress. However, Qin Fen could tell that this woman was lying. Even though she was sweet-talking and crying, there was not a trace of love in her eyes for Fang Shu. "Senior Qin, Fang Shu was still worried about Chang Ru and wanted to ask for Qin Fen's opinion. Qin Fen interrupted him and said, "There are plenty of fish in the sea." As a woman, Hong Chen-Wu's sixth sense was very sharp. She said more directly, "Senior brother Fang Shu, that woman doesn't deserve you." Both of them expressed their intention to persuade him. Even though Fang Shu didn't know what was going on, he understood what was going on. "Junior sister Chang Ru, you should leave." Fang Shu let out a long sigh as if he wanted to cut off this ill-fated relationship. Chang Ru didn't really want to return to Fang Shu's side. When she saw Qin Fen kill Elder Gao Tianxiang, all her thoughts were on Qin Fen. Since she couldn't start with Fang Shu, Chang Ru directly expressed her intention. She swayed her hips and walked in front of Qin Fen with a charming expression. "Senior, you killed my previous partner, Gao Jin. Now, senior brother Fang Shu doesn't want me anymore. Please take my daughter with you. I will serve you with all my heart." Chang Ru emphasized the word, serve. She even stretched out her jade-like hand and caressed Qin Fen's chest. That frivolous action was extremely provocative. In the divine continent where men and women were more conservative, it was even more lustful. Fang Shu's eyes were spitting fire. He finally saw through Chang Ru's true nature. She was simply a fickle woman. Whenever she saw an outstanding male cultivator, she would immediately throw herself at them. Hong Chen-Wu, on the other hand, revealed an expression of disgust. As a fellow woman, she couldn't understand why Chang Ru would forsake her dignity and chastity for the sake of cultivation. Qin Feng stood in the snow, ignoring all of Chang Ru's seductive expressions and movements. Chang Ru was a bit anxious. She was extremely confident in her looks. Otherwise, she wouldn't have caught the eye of Gao Jin, the genius disciple of the seven-star Gao family. In Chang Ru's opinion, men were all lustful animals. Even if they were powerful cultivators, they couldn't resist the instinctive desire of their bodies. Otherwise, Gao Mingxi, that old thing, wouldn't have secretly looked for her again and again. "Senior Qin, please accept this little girl. This little girl promises to be loyal to you for the rest of my life. I won't hesitate to do anything for you." Chang Ru simply increased the intensity of her attacks. This time, her whole body was in Qin Fen's arms, and her hands were restlessly touching him. One had to admit that this woman's appearance was outstanding and her body was hot, but Qin Fen couldn't arouse the slightest bit of interest. A powerful surge of true origin surged from his body, and Changru was sent flying 100 meters away into the snow. "Brother Fong, this is your little junior sister's true nature. Let's go." Fang Shu was filled with gratitude as he watched Qin Fen's receding figure. In fact, he was worried that Qin Fen wouldn't be able to resist the temptation and would push Changru down on the spot. If that really happened, Fang Shu wouldn't have stopped him. However, his friendship with Qin Fen would have come to an end. The three of them resumed their journey and continued to search for the secret formation that led to the 9th layer of the snow region. On the 5th day, Hongchen Wu finally found the location marked on the map. However, she discovered that a large number of cultivators had already gathered there. Qin Fen scanned the area with his divine sense, and his heart was heavy. The cultivators gathered near the hidden formation door were all powerful cultivators with high realms. Hollow God realm cultivators were already at the bottom, and body condensation realm cultivators were the most common. There were also dozens of cauldron-filling state cultivators, and a few cultivators that Qin Fen couldn't see through. "Brother Zhou, what's going on here?" At this time, another figure rushed over. As soon as that person landed on the ground, the gathered cultivators all revealed expressions of awe. An elder whose cultivation level Qin Fen couldn't see through walked out from the crowd. He cupped his fists and said, "Deputy City Lord Wang Lu, we found a hidden formation door in the 5th layer of the snow region. We don't know where it leads to." The person who came was the Deputy City Lord of Snowfield City, Wang Lu Zhongming. He nodded and said, "With Brother Zhou's ability, can you activate that hidden formation door?" The conversation between the most powerful cultivators in Snowfield City scared the others to the point that their breathing quickened. Even the few cauldron-filling state cultivators revealed nervous expressions. Qin Fen was curious about the identity of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others, so he asked Fang Shu. After Fang Shu introduced them one by one, Qin Fen frowned. It turned out that the old man that Wang Lu Zhongming referred to as Brother Zhou was the vice-sect leader of the Three Purities Formation, and his cultivation level had most likely surpassed the cauldron-filling stage. Not long ago, Qin Fen had killed Xiao Ming and the others from the Three Purities Formation in the Nine Heavens Snow region. However, what Qin Fen was most worried about wasn't Xiao Shan's revenge. The Three Purities Formation disciples who found the level 9 caterpillar fungus were all killed by him. There was no one who could inform them. Qin Fen's biggest worry was that the formation door to the 9th layer of the snow region would be discovered. If all the powerful cultivators entered the 9th layer of the snow region, then he would have nothing to do with the Ice Heart Flame. "Miss Hong, the place you mentioned is here?" Qin Fen wanted to confirm. He hoped that Hong Chenwu was wrong. "Senior Qin, it must be here. What should we do now?" Hong Chenwu said helplessly. She clearly knew Qin Fen's concerns. "Then let's wait and see. If everyone goes in, I don't have the confidence to subdue the heavenly fire." Qin Fen sighed. They had been busy for half a day, but it was very likely that they would fail. The three's mood fell to the bottom and they remained silent. The crowd was in full swing. Many people listened to Xiao Shan's instructions and searched for the hidden formation door. An hour later, Xiao Shan shouted and threw out formation flags. Those formation flags didn't fall to the ground. They all floated in the air and formed a formation. That formation was clearly in the shape of a formation door. "It's here. The hidden formation door has appeared." Senior Xiao Shan is indeed the deputy sect leader of the Three Purities Formation. His formation skills are at the peak. Where does this formation door lead to? Will there be a lot of cultivation resources? When the formation door appeared, the crowd was in an uproar. Many cultivators began to imagine that the secret realm was a herb garden or a spirit stone manor. However, only Qin Fen and the others knew that the other end of the formation door was the 9th layer of the snow region. Chapter 2065. Wang Lai Xiaoming had already landed beside the array door. After a careful observation he said, "As the Deputy Governor of Snow Domain City, I know all the secret realm array doors in the first 5 layers of 9 Heavens Snow Domain like the back of my hand, but this array door has an unfamiliar aura." His words stirred the crowd. There was an unknown array door in the 5th layer of 9 Heavens Snow Domain. This meant that no one had been to the secret realm on the other side of the array door and the cultivation resources inside had not been discovered. Such a great opportunity was right in front of them, but no one had rushed into the array door. Opportunities and risks coexisted. Who could be sure that the array door would lead to a secret realm or a dangerous place? "Governor Wang Lai Xiaoming, what do you think we should do now?" More than a dozen big shots gathered around Wang Lai Xiaoming. The lineup could scare people to death. Even a cauldron-filling realm late-stage cultivator would be the weakest among them. Most of them were disaster transformation ultimate gods. Wang Liashangming could not help but think of the ceiling sky formation that suddenly appeared above Snow Domain City and the unfamiliar array door in front of him. His expression changed. Let's go in and have a look. Brother Zhou, can you hide the array door? Wang Liashangming asked after a moment of silence. It's not difficult to hide the array door, Sui Shan said. Wang Lu Zhongming nodded and glanced at the adventuring cultivators standing in the distance, not daring to approach, and said, Fellow Taoists, this secret array door does not lead to the Holy Land. It is very likely to be a dangerous place. I advise you not to enter. It is better to search for treasures elsewhere. Everyone did not believe Wang Liashangming's words. If it was really a dangerous place, why would Wang Liashangming and the other top experts of Snow Domain City go in? However, even if they guessed that they wanted to go in and share the treasures, they did not dare to complain. Half a minute later, the crowd had all left. Wang Liashangming did not rush into the array door. He waited until his divine senses could not detect any cultivator's aura within 1,000 miles before he said to Sui Shan, Brother Zhou, hide the array door and we'll go in. Senior Qin, are we really going to leave just like that? Hong Chenwu could not help but ask after flying for 1,000 miles without any intention of stopping. Fang Shu sighed and said, Hong Chenwu, you can't blame Senior Qin this time. Those who stayed are the top experts of Snow Domain City. I heard that Deputy City Lord Wang Liashangming has reached the peak disaster transformation realm. I wonder if he has successfully broken through to the true form realm. This was the first time Qin Fan had heard of Wang Lu Zhongming's cultivation realm. He was extremely shocked and could not help but have a higher opinion of the overall cultivation level of the West Ocean continent. Hong Chenwu's eyes were filled with despair. Her alluring red lips opened and closed as she murmured to herself, Then what should I do? Hong Lord of Hong Chenwu's seductive red lips opened and muttered, I of my father of. If I of the sect, I of my father's disease, I Dao Qin Shan. Yang, of Long of the Saint City, and Liaf of Realm City, of Yang of Emperor Wang Emperor Heaven. Of however, even if Hong Chenwu's father hadn't fallen ill, when Qin Fan found out that the celestial fire ice heart flame was in the 9th layer of snow region, he was determined to go there. Even if Wang Lu Zhongming tried to stop him, he wouldn't care. Don't worry, Hong Chen. I will definitely go to the 9th level of Snow Domain and do my best to subdue the ice heart flame. As for your father's illness, don't worry. After this expedition, I can go with you and see if I can cure Senior Hong, Qin Feng said. Hong Chenwu immediately perked up. Senior Qin, are you serious? Let's go back to the array door now. Qin Feng was not in a hurry. We can't go back now. I believe that Wang Liashangming and the others will not rush into the array door. They might have to stay here for a while to prevent cultivators from hiding nearby. Hong Chenwu suddenly realized that she had misunderstood Qin Feng. She immediately bowed and said, Thank you, Senior Qin. Whether or not Senior Qin can subdue the ice heart flame, I will remember your kindness. Qin Fan waved his hand and said with a smile, That's enough. Since we have met in the 9 Heavens snowfield, it is fate. I regard you and Fang Shu as friends. I'm happy to help my friends. Don't be so polite. Because of the encounter with Gao Jin and the others, Hong Chenwu and Fang Shu did not run away. Qin Feng had completely accepted them. After going around in the ice and snow a few times, Qin Feng felt that it was time to go back to the array door. However, he did not plan to take Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu with him. Firstly, Wang Liashangming and the others had entered the 9th level of Snow Domain. Secondly, the weather in the 5th level of Snow Domain was extremely bad. Qin Feng was afraid that Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu would freeze to death in the 9th level of Snow Domain. After knowing Qin Feng's thoughts, the two of them immediately objected. Senior Qin, I, Fang Shu, am not afraid of death. We agreed to explore the 9th level of Snow Domain together. How can I back out now? Fang Shu said with a firm expression. Hong Chenwu was even more anxious. If I can't subdue the ice heart flame this time, what's the point of going back alive? Qin Feng understood their feelings, but he always remained rational and rational. If he entered the 9th level of Snow Domain alone, he might have a chance to subdue the ice heart flame. However, if he took Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu with him, he could only escape and stay alive. Miss Hong, don't worry. As long as I find the ice heart flame, I will definitely meet up with you. Qin Feng looked at Fang Shu and said, Take Miss Hong and leave the 9 Heavens Snow Domain first. Wait for me at the inn in Snow Domain City. Protect Miss Hong. Qin Feng did not see the scene where Hong Chenwu killed the Gao family disciple. Otherwise, he would not have asked Fang Shu to protect her. Fang Shu looked embarrassed. He scratched his head and said, "Senior Qin, you should take us with you." Qin Feng said firmly, "I will go in alone. You two will only die." After some discussion, Fang Shu listened to Qin Feng's suggestion and chose to leave. However, Hong Qinwu insisted on going to the 9th level of Snow Domain, so Qin Feng had no choice but to take her with him. When the two of them returned to the place where the array gate was, there was no one else around. Even the array gate that Time Suishan had revealed had disappeared. It's over. The array gate was hidden by that old man. How are we going to enter the 9th level of Snow Domain now? Hong Qinwu frowned. Even if she did not know Time Suishan, she could guess that he was a formation master. However, she saw that Qin Feng was already sitting cross-legged in the snow with his eyes closed. When Hong Qinwu was about to ask him, he waved his hands and threw out a sky full of array flags. Buzz! A strange energy wave rippled out. Hong Qinwu had a look of disbelief on her face. A white array gate appeared in the void in front of her. "Senior Qin, you know formations?" "I know a little." Qin Feng did not explain much. He grabbed Hong Qinwu's hand and rushed into the sky. "Let's go in." When the two of them disappeared in the void, the white array gate flashed and disappeared, once again hidden in the void. Qin Feng felt dizzy. This teleportation formation was quite a distance away. Hong Qinwu's condition was even worse. She felt like she was about to be torn apart by the chaotic aura in the teleportation tunnel. Fortunately, after a while, she found the feeling of landing on the ground. Hong Qinwu crouched down and wanted to vomit, but she could not. Qin Feng had already spread his divine sense out. However, in the next second his expression changed drastically. He felt a strong sense of death coming at him. This was not the killing intent of someone, but the aura of death brought about by the harsh environment. The harsh environment of the 9th level of Snow Domain far exceeded Qin Feng's expectations. Even his divine sense was frozen and he could not release it at all. The two of them had only been on the ground for a few seconds when they were covered in ice and snow. When a cold wind blew, they were instantly frozen into ice sculptures. Qin Feng's body was no longer just cold. He realized that his consciousness was being frozen bit by bit. His ability to think and react were quickly fading. If this continued, he would definitely freeze to death. With a thought, the spirit sunflower heavenly fire burned fiercely. However, Qin Feng still felt bone-chilling cold. On the other hand, his divine sense and thoughts were slowly recovering. Qin Feng knew that he could still hold on in the 9th level of Snow Domain, but he could only hold on for a few hours at most. However, he immediately realized that Hong Qinwu did not have a rare fire of heaven and earth. Coming here would only mean death. The situation was critical. Qin Feng did not dare to delay any longer. He immediately activated the purple flame, causing the two rare fires to burn at the same time. The layer of ice on his body finally began to melt, but a new layer of ice covered him. Qin Feng had no choice but to burn his blood essence. Only then did he manage to make the ice melt faster than it was freezing. "Miss Hong, are you okay?" After a whole incense's time, Qin Feng finally removed the ice on his body. When he rushed to Hong Qinwu's side, he found that she had already fainted from the cold. She did not have any consciousness at all. "What the hell is this place?" Qin Feng could not help but complain. Then he immediately picked up Hong Qinwu and flew through the wind and snow. He wanted to find a cave to settle down in. Along the way the two rare fires kept burning. Qin Feng did not dare to stop at all. Otherwise he would immediately be frozen in the void. It felt like he had entered a battlefield. After flying for an unknown amount of time, Qin Feng's expression changed. He saw a row of people in the wind and snow in the distance. Apart from him and Hong Qinwu, only Wang Lu Zhongming and the group of godly venerables had entered the 9th Snow Domain. Qin Feng immediately turned around and ran without thinking. If he was caught by Wang Lu Zhongming and the others, only death would await him. However, after flying for a few kilometers, Qin Feng turned around and flew back. He found that the people in the wind and snow in the distance did not move at all. They seemed to have frozen to death. The flying sword landed and Qin Feng arrived in the middle of the row of people. There were 8 people in this row and all of them were frozen in the snow. Moreover, it was very likely that they had frozen to death as soon as they teleported to this layer of Snow Domain. This was because the 8 of them were in different positions. Some were about to escape on their swords, while others were about to circulate their vital ether to protect themselves. Even their vital ether had been frozen into strands of air. It was a rare sight. Qin Feng began to guess that the cultivation of this group of people should be at the empty god consolidated body realm or lower. Otherwise they would not have been frozen to death instantly. However, he could not understand how an empty God-consolidated body realm could enter the ninth snow domain. Chapter 2066. Out of curiosity, Qinfen used heaven fire to melt the ice on one of the older cultivators. Before he died, the old man was still flying on a sword. When the ice melted, the old man's body flew forward for some distance before he fell into the snow. Qinfen was shocked. He was completely shocked by the cold weather of the ninth level of the snow region. This place could no longer be described as simply cold. This was a land of death. There was no chance of survival. As soon as the old man fell, his body was covered in ice and snow again. Qinfen immediately released heaven fire. When the ice melted again, Qinfen took the old man's storage ring. There was a divine sense restriction on the storage ring. When Qinfen tried to use his powerful divine sense to break the divine sense restriction, he realized it was useless. Qinfen was shocked. A scary thought popped into his mind. He had absorbed more than 3,000 soul crystals and cultivated the soul returning technique. His divine sense was invincible among his peers. It was even close to the strength of a cauldron-filling state cultivator. However, his divine sense could not break the divine sense seal on the dead old man's storage ring. This old man was at least cauldron-filling state when he was alive. A cauldron-filling state cultivator was frozen to death the moment he entered the ninth level of the snow region. Qinfen found it unbelievable. He realized his previous guess was completely wrong. This was not a group of low-level cultivators. The harsh environment of the Nine Heavens snow region was more terrifying than he imagined. Qinfen was even more worried about Hong Chen-Wu's safety. Although he could not see through this woman's realm, he guessed that she could not be cauldron-filling state. Hong Chen-Wu did not have a heavenly flame to protect her body. The armor she wore was only average. If she stayed in this icy environment for a long time, there was no hope of survival. Master, don't worry too much. Those cultivators froze to death because they underestimated the harsh weather of this region of snow. Many of them didn't even wear armor, so it's not surprising that they froze to death, Little Pig reminded him. Qinfen quickly calmed himself down and looked at the 8 cultivators again. It was just as Little Pig had said, only 3 of them were wearing armor and they were spirit-grade armor. These people obviously didn't take any defensive measures and entered the 9th layer of the snow domain. Qinfen thought about it and felt that they probably didn't even know they were going to enter the 9th layer of the snow domain. Perhaps they just stumbled into the formation door. No matter what the truth was, it had little to do with Qinfen. These people had no idea how long they had been frozen to death. However, because of the extremely cold environment, their corpses were well preserved. It was as if they had fallen into a deep sleep. After trying a few more divine sense attacks, Qinfen finally broke the seal on the storage ring. When his divine sense swept inside, Qinfen was immediately stunned. He was sure that the owner of this storage ring was at least a cauldron-filling realm cultivator, most likely in the late stage of cauldron-filling realm. This was because the storage ring was extremely rich in cultivation resources. There were 3 pieces of true artifact-grade armors, and a small mountain of level 6 and level 7 spiritual herbs and refining materials. Qinfen's excitement didn't last long. He quickly gathered his thoughts and put the storage ring away. Now that he was in the 9th layer of the snow domain, even with the protection of 2 heavenly flames, he felt a little overwhelmed. He didn't use the heavenly flame to melt the ice on the others and take their storage rings, because he didn't just need to use the 2 heavenly flames to protect himself. Qinfen didn't use the heavenly flames to protect Hong Chen-Wu. Otherwise she would have frozen to death. The 9th layer of the snow domain was shrouded in a hazy snow mist. Visibility was less than 100 meters. Affected by the extremely cold environment, Qinfen couldn't use his divine sense. He couldn't even tell north from south. Since he couldn't find a cave to hide in, Qinfen had no choice but to take out the flying cloud all. However, when he hid inside the flying cloud all with Hong Chen-Wu in his arms, he heard a soft, crisp sound. This flying ship, which was comparable to a high-grade true artifact in the divine continent, was frozen. The flying cloud all speed was reduced by half due to the extreme snowstorm. After flying for half an hour, the flying cloud all's surface was covered with a layer of hard ice. When Qinfen used his divine sense to scan the ice, he found that there were many cracks on the surface. Qinfen was worried. If the flying cloud all was destroyed in the 9th layer of the snow domain, the loss would outweigh the gain. His main flying artifact was the flying cloud all. It was the best tool for escaping. However, it was unrealistic to put the flying cloud all away now. The harsh and cold environment in the 9th layer of the snow domain was beyond Qinfen's expectation. Even with the protection of 2 heavenly flames, he couldn't hold on for long. Most importantly, he had to protect Hong Qinwu. If Hong Qinwu was exposed to the snowstorm, she would die soon. Master, try the fire spirit crystals. Little Pig suddenly reminded. Only then did Qinfen remember that he collected more than 10,000 fire spirit crystals in the cave in the Insect Valley. However, some of them were used to upgrade the spirit sunflower heaven fire. Now there were only more than 3,000 fire spirit crystals left in the storage ring. He immediately took out more than 3,000 fire spirit crystals and piled them up in the resting room. When these fire spirit crystals appeared, the temperature inside the flying cloud all skyrocketed. The hot air floated out through the vent and melted some of the ice on the surface of the flying cloud all. This scene surprised Qinfen. It seemed that the fire spirit crystals were effective. He sat on the ground with his legs crossed and started to set up a formation. He used 1,000 fire spirit crystals to set up a fire spirit formation. 2 hours later, the fire spirit formation was completed. Although it was Qinfen's first time setting up this kind of formation, the effect was very obvious. The temperature inside the flying cloud all was maintained at 28 degrees Celsius, which was the most comfortable temperature. Qinfen didn't stop. He took out the 3 true artifact armors from the storage ring he got not long ago. He planned to add fire spirit crystals into the armors to modify them into fire elemental defensive armors. Qinfen was now at the level of a low-grade true artifact master, and he had a 20% chance of making a low-grade true artifact. Moreover, he was only modifying the formed true artifact armors. This kind of work was not difficult for him. 6 hours later, the 3 true artifact armors were successfully modified into fire elemental defensive true armors. Qinfen immediately put on one of the true artifact armors. At this time he found that the ice on Hong Qinwu's body had completely melted, so he put on an armor for her as well. Qinfen finally let out a sigh of relief. With the help of the 3,000 fire spirit crystals, he temporarily alleviated the crisis. However, thinking that he had used up the 3,000 fire spirit crystals just like that, he felt a bit sad. Senior Qin, are we dead? Hong Qinwu woke up not long after she put on the armor. Qinfen hurriedly took out some medicinal pellets to consolidate true core and handed them to her. He said, "We are not dead. Take the medicinal pellets first and adjust your true core." Hong Qinwu's beautiful eyes were filled with shock. When she entered the 9th layer of the snow region, she felt an irresistible aura of death. That feeling made her feel hopeless. She did not expect that Qinfen would save her. Hong Qinwu immediately swallowed the medicinal pellets and meditated for a while. When she opened her eyes again, the skin that was not covered by the veil had regained its color. "Senior Qin, what's the situation now?" Hong Qinwu asked immediately. Qinfen had already checked the surrounding terrain. He found that along the way, there was nothing but barren mountains and snowy lands. There was not even a mountain in sight, let alone a cave to hide in. This situation worried Qinfen, because the energy supply of the fire spirit formation could not last for long. Once the 1,000 fire spirit crystals were used up, he and Hong Qinwu would fall into a dangerous situation again. "We need to find the ice heart flame as soon as possible. Otherwise we will freeze to death here." Qinfen did not hide the danger they were in. He wanted Hong Qinwu to be mentally prepared. "Senior Qin, did you see Wang Lu Zhongming's group? Maybe they are also here to find the ice heart flame. Why don't we follow them?" Hong Qinwu said. Qinfen shook his head and said, "We did not see any living people along the way, but we did see a lot of dead people." Hong Qinwu did not understand what Qinfen meant by dead people, but she did not need to ask Qinfen. When her divine sense swept out of the flying cloud all, the scene in the snowy lands shocked her. There are so many cultivators frozen to death in the 9th layer of the snow region. It seems that many people have been here. I wonder if the ice heart flame is still here. Hong Qinwu was worried. In fact, Qinfen had already considered this possibility. However, since they were already here, he wanted to search for more. It would not be too late to find an exit and leave when he really could not hold on. The flying cloud all sped along without a destination. Along the way, Qinfen and Hong Qinwu saw many cultivators frozen to death. Towards the end, they did not find it strange anymore. However, the state of the 9th layer of the snow region gradually caused the two of them to despair. This place was like a boundless wilderness of snow. Not only were there no signs of life, but there wasn't even a single mountain or wild grass to be found. "Wow! Senior Qin, that river is so beautiful!" Hong Qinwu suddenly cried out. Her beautiful eyes, which were not covered by her veil, were shining. Qinfen had also found the narrow river not far away. There was a stream flowing in the river. It was clear and bright, and it reflected some crystal light. It was mesmerizing. However, Qinfen quickly came to his senses. With a look of disbelief he shouted, "This is not right. The 9th layer of the snow region is a world of ice and snow. Anything can be frozen. How can there be a stream flowing here?" With his reminder, Hong Chenwu suddenly came to her senses and said, "Yes. Why is there a river flowing here? What is going on?" The two of them could not figure it out. Qinfen immediately increased the speed of the flying cloud all and flew towards the slowly flowing river. As they got closer to the river, the wind and snow around them became weaker and the temperature increased. "Senior Qin, I feel like the temperature outside has increased. Is it my imagination?" Hong Chenwu said in surprise. "It is not your imagination. Look carefully. The wind and snow above this river are very light. The temperature has increased, so the river is not frozen. I plan to fly under the river to take a look. Maybe I will find something," Qinfen said. Chapter 2067. The flying cloud all started to descend straight into the river. A true artifact like this could not only fly in the air, but it could also move underwater. "Senior Qin, I feel the temperature increase again." After the flying cloud all entered the water, Hong Chenwu immediately noticed. Qinfen also felt the increase in temperature, and he became more curious about the situation at the bottom of the river. He even suspected that there was an unusual fire hidden under the river. Otherwise, what else could improve the harsh environment of Nine Heavens Snow region? When they were above the shore, the water felt very shallow, but when Qinfen entered, he realized he was wrong. The river was unfathomably deep. The flying cloud all flew at full speed, but it still hadn't reached the bottom after the time it took for an incense stick to burn. As they went deeper into the river, the pressure from the water increased. Qinfen could already hear a slight sound coming from the flying cloud all. It was similar to the sound of the flying cloud all cracking in the blizzard. But he knew that the sound wasn't from freezing, but from the impact of the water pressure at the bottom of the river. After flying for another 2 incense sticks of time, the water pressure increased, and it even hindered the flying cloud all's speed. Qinfen began to worry that something bad would happen if they continued flying. If the flying cloud all cracked, he didn't know if he could withstand the fierce water pressure with his cultivation. But at this moment, a pillar of light shot up from the river. Hong Chenwu immediately shouted, "Senior Qin, there's light under the water." Qinfen had already changed the direction of the flying cloud all. He inserted a dozen spirit crystals into the energy system. The flying cloud all's speed increased again, and it quickly rushed to the source of the pillar of light. Qinfen and Hong Chenwu saw an extremely spectacular scene. At the bottom of the raging river there was a tall black mountain. The peak of the mountain couldn't be seen, and it seemed to extend above the river. The white pillar of light shot out from the bottom of the mountain, and it was the entrance of a cave. The water pressure at the bottom of the river was extremely fierce, but there was no water flowing into the cave. Qinfen landed the flying cloud all outside the cave, and his divine sense scanned the cave entrance. "Senior Qin, this cave entrance is very strange. Why doesn't the water flow in?" Hong Chenwu also realized this point that went against common sense. Qinfen had already retracted his divine sense, and he had a look of understanding. "There is an array at the entrance that seals the river." "I see. Does Senior Qin have a way to enter the array door?" Hong Chenwu was very curious about the situation inside the cave. Qinfen had the same intention. Regardless of whether the cave was dangerous or not, at least it was much better than the water pressure at the bottom of the river and the snowstorm above the river. The formation at the entrance of the cave was not high. It was a grade 6 defensive formation. With Qinfeng's current formation skills he could break it. However, he wasn't in a rush to break the formation. Instead he was confused. Logically speaking, a 6th level defense formation could only block attacks from hollow spirit state cultivators and would be easily broken by body condensation state cultivators. At this depth, the force of the river was definitely not small. Qinfen estimated that it was at least body condensation state cultivators' true essence. How could it not break the formation? Could it be that someone just came over to set up a defensive formation? Qinfen suddenly thought of something. He immediately thought of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others because he, Hong Chenwu, and Wang Lu Zhongming were probably the only ones still alive in the Nine Heavens Snow region. Moreover, the vice-sect master of the Three Purities formation, Sui Shan, was also in that group. It was very likely that Sui Shan had set up this Class 6 defensive formation. "Senior Qin, can you not break the formation?" Hong Chenwu asked when Qinfen didn't respond. Qin Feng came back to his senses and said with a serious expression, I can break this defensive formation, but I suspect that Wang Lu Zhongming and the others have entered the cave. Hong Chenwu was shocked. Huh? They're also here? Then what should we do? Should we leave here first? Thinking of Wang Lu Zhongming and the other old monsters' cultivation levels, Hong Chenwu's mind was in chaos. Even Qin Feng couldn't calm down, let alone her. If they really ran into that group of people, they probably wouldn't even know how they died. However, Qin Feng didn't want to leave. Putting aside the fact that the extreme cold outside was fatal, the most important thing was that he had his eyes on this cave abode. It was very likely that there was a heaven and earth strange flame inside. Miss Hong, drive the flying cloud all outside and wait for me. I'll go into the cave and see what's going on. Qin Feng finally made a decision. Hong Chenwu was surprised. Senior Qin, are you really going in? Even if there are treasures hidden in the cave, I'm afraid we can't take them away. Qin Feng said firmly, since I've found this place, I must go in and see what's going on. Also, Wang Lu Zhongming and the others might not have gone into the cave. That's just my guess. Qin Feng said this to comfort Hong Chenwu, because he was sure that Wang Lu Zhongming and the others had entered the cave. Seeing that Qin Feng was determined to go in, Hong Chenwu gritted her teeth and said that she wanted to follow. Qin Feng couldn't persuade her in the end, so he brought Hong Chenwu with him. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, Qin Feng finished making the formation flags. However, he had to leave the flying cloud all before he could break the formation. The water pressure here was extremely fierce, so he only had one chance. When everything was ready, Qin Feng rushed out of the flying cloud all first. He wanted to throw out the formation flags immediately, but he suddenly felt a destructive force coming at him, and he was instantly sucked into the whirlpool of the river. The force of the river was more terrifying than Qin Feng had imagined. The fire spirit crystal true treasure armor that he had forged not long ago was instantly broken. When the water surged up his body, Qin Feng didn't think twice and put on the life immortal armor. The life immortal armor temporarily withstood the pressure of the river, but it wasn't much better. Qin Feng's body was like a kite with a broken string, drifting erratically in the whirlpool of the river. He wanted to throw out the formation flags and break through the 6th level defensive formation, but he didn't even have the chance to get close to the entrance. Hong Chenwu was still in the flying cloud all. Seeing that Qin Feng was in trouble, she was full of anxiety. However, in the end she kept her calm and didn't rush out to help. She knew Qin Feng's strength very well. If he couldn't even protect himself, she would only be a burden if she went out. Master, try the field. Little Pig reminded. Qin Feng hurriedly used the field, and a strange magnetic field rippled around his body. The field was successfully used. The turbulent whirlpool of water didn't freeze, but at least it calmed down a little. How could Qin Feng miss such a great opportunity? As soon as he steadied his body, he rushed to the entrance of the cave. He slapped his hand and dozens of formation flags fell down. Then, Qin Feng gathered a large amount of true essence and swung the gray ruler fiercely. Rumble. A loud sound exploded at the bottom of the river, causing a huge wave to surge. The 6th level defensive formation at the entrance of the cave was instantly broken. It was like a dam had been opened and the river surged in like a flood. Chapter 2068. Under the force of the river, Qin Feng and the soaring cloud all were instantly sucked into the cave. The water showed no signs of stopping, and in a few breaths, they were a few hundred meters away. After entering the cave, Qin Feng immediately released his divine sense to observe. However, his divine sense could only scan the interior of the cave and could not penetrate the rocks to see further. This was an incomparably long and narrow tunnel that seemed to have been dug by someone. Under the force of the river, Qin Feng sped all the way and finally flew out of another cave. Whoosh! The moment he left the cave, Qin Feng finally escaped the force of the river. When he regained his freedom, he immediately flew away on his flying sword. On both sides were tall mountains that formed a large canyon. Below him was a river with no end, and the clear water flowed slowly. Qin Feng hovered above the canyon on his flying sword. When he turned back to look at the cave, the river surged out and formed a waterfall. Senior Qin, are you okay? Hong Chenwu flew out of the soaring cloud all. I'm fine. How are you? Qin Feng asked. Hong Chenwu let out a sigh of relief and quickly said, it's all thanks to the protection of Senior Qin's ship. If I fell into the river, I probably wouldn't have survived. Qin Feng nodded. He knew more about the force of the river than Hong Chenwu. If it wasn't for the protection of the immortal armor, he probably would have died in the river. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's find a safe place to understand the situation here. Qin Fan put away the soaring cloud all and used his flying sword to explore. The terrain above the canyon was dangerous, and with the speed of the soaring cloud all, it was hard to control it without crashing into the rocks. Aside from that, there was another more important reason. The climate in the canyon was warm, and there was no need to hide in the soaring cloud all to block the cold. Senior Qin, where are we now? I feel like we've left the Nine Heavens snow region. After flying for a while, Hong Chenwu was full of questions. Even Qin Fan suspected that this space had left the Nine Heavens snow region. It had been a world of ice and snow before, but now it was like a spring breeze. The difference was too big. Because the climate in the canyon was warm, it was full of life compared to the world of ice and snow outside. Qin Fan flew upstream along the river. He saw many spirit herbs and beast spirits along the way. This was something that couldn't be seen in the snow outside. Senior Qin, there seems to be someone ahead. After flying for an unknown period of time, Hong Chenwu cried out in alarm. Normally, seeing a living person in an unknown environment like this would be a happy thing, but Hong Chenwu's brows were tightly furrowed. Qin Feng's expression immediately turned serious. He had already guessed that Wang Lu Zhongming and the others had also entered this valley. If they were to meet people here, they would most likely be the group of peak experts from Snow Domain City. With a sweep of his divine sense, Qin Fan saw two early-stage cauldron-filling realm cultivators not far away. Qin Fan let out a sigh of relief. He thought to himself that these two people should be the personal disciples of those peak cultivators. With Qin Fan's current cultivation, he wasn't afraid of early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivators. In fact, if he found the opportunity to strike first, he could instantly kill an early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivator. However, he would not really go and deal with those two. There might be other venerables nearby. Let's go. Qin Fan immediately sent a voice transmission to Red Dust Dance. However, before the two of them could leave, a heart-wrenching scream of pain came from behind them. The two stopped at the same time and looked back in shock. The two cauldron-filling state cultivators had blue flames on their bodies, but the flames had no heat and instantly froze them into ice sculptures. Crack crack. There was a subtle sound as if something had cracked. A few seconds later, a shocking scene appeared in front of Qin Fan and Red Dust Dance. The two early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivators had been frozen into ice shards, which scattered all over the ground. How could this be? How did they die? Red Dust Dance was so scared that she couldn't even speak clearly. Qin Fan had already swept his divine sense over, and his expression instantly changed. Not good, there's a killing intent coming. The killing intent was very strong, but Qin Fan couldn't even see what it was. However, he didn't have the time to look at it in detail. He immediately grabbed Red Dust Dance and ran. Only then did Red Dust Dance react. She also used her divine sense to sweep behind her. She saw a blue flame appear in the sky above the valley, quickly chasing after her and Qin Fan. Senior Qin, it seems to be a rare flame. Red Dust Dance was overjoyed. Qin Fan said firmly, it's definitely not a rare flame. I have flames, so I am very familiar with their aura. Red Dust Dance's emotions were like a roller coaster. She immediately became nervous. Huh? Not a rare flame? Then what is it? The flame chasing after them was extremely fast. It was less than 50 meters away from Qin Fan and Red Dust Dance. This time, Qin Fan finally saw it clearly. It wasn't a flame at all, but something made up of countless blue flying insects. Not good, master. This is the Ice Spirit insect, which is ranked 58th on the Divine Supreme Continent along with the Fire Spirit insect. Little Pig suddenly shouted. Qin Fan's heart became heavy. Last time in the Thousand Insect Valley in the South Flat Continent, he had witnessed the power of spirit insects, especially the bloodthirsty insect at the bottom of the Thousand Lotus Lake, which almost killed him. However, when he remembered that the Ice Spirit insect was ranked 58th like the Fire Spirit insect, Qin Fan felt slightly relieved. He believed that with the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower in hand, these Ice Spirit insects wouldn't be a threat to him. However, Qin Fan quickly realized that he was wrong. When the tens of thousands of Ice Spirit insects approached them, a bone-piercing chill hit them and instantly froze him and Red Dust Dance. The two of them were still flying on their swords, but they had already become ice sculptures, just like the cultivators who were frozen to death in the snowstorm outside. However, Qin Fan and Red Dust Dance's thoughts were still there, and they both looked anxious. Qin Fan couldn't understand why the Ice Spirit insects were so ferocious, but only ranked 58th with the Fire Spirit insect. Master, it's not because of the Ice Spirit insects. It should be because of the flame on their bodies, Little Pig immediately reminded him. Qin Fan used his divine sense again, and this time he carefully examined the ice spirit insects. He found that almost every ice spirit insect had a flame on its antennae. The flame was so small that it couldn't be seen, just like an illusory antenna. No wonder Qianfen didn't notice it before. What kind of flame is this? Qianfen felt a trace of the unusual flame's aura. The aura was extremely weak, and if he didn't look carefully he wouldn't be able to detect it. Little Pig guessed, "Master, could it be the ice heart flame?" Qianfen's eyes lit up. He felt that it could really be the ice heart flame, but he quickly thought that it wasn't. If the ice heart flame was really hiding in this canyon, the environment here would be even worse than outside, so how could it be warm? Now wasn't the time to guess what kind of flame it was, because Qianfen already felt death approaching. Tens of thousands of ice spirit insects were like a sea of fire, and everywhere they went, even the air was instantly frozen. Chapter 2069. Rumble. Qianfen immediately burned a mouthful of blood essence and forced his true yuan to release the heavenly fire spirit sunflower. The layer of ice quickly melted, and in the end several balls of fire rushed out. When they enveloped the tens of thousands of ice spirit worms, the two seemed to merge into one, forming an even fiercer fire in the air. Violent explosions rang out, like the sparks from the collision of ice and boiling water. A large number of ice spirit worms fell to the ground, but they were not completely dead. They struggled and crawled on the ground, like a slowly spreading fire. Qianfen did not have the time to care about the ice spirit worms. He immediately used the heavenly fire to melt the ice on Hong Chen-Wu's body. Hong Chen-Wu panicked, obviously frightened by the ice spirit worms. "Senior Qin, what is this thing?" Qianfen pulled Hong Chen-Wu and said, "The 58th ranked ice spirit worm on the divine continent." Ice spirit worm? A type of heaven and earth spirit worm? Hong Chen-Wu was shocked. The ice spirit worms themselves are not this strong, but there is a flame on their antennae. "I suspect that is the ice heart flame," Qianfen explained. Hong Chen-Wu's eyes lit up when she heard the ice heart flame. "Is there really an ice heart flame here? My father's illness can finally be cured." As soon as she finished speaking, Hong Chen-Wu's expression changed as if she thought of something. "No, Senior Qin. There shouldn't be an ice heart flame here. I heard from the elders in the clan that the ice heart flame is a type of Yin flame. The flame is cold and this river valley is hot and humid. Moreover, why would those worms have an ice heart flame on them?" Hong Chen-Wu's doubts were also Qianfen's doubts. Qianfen did not believe that there was an ice heart flame in this underground river, but he was sure that the flame on the ice spirit worms was a heaven and earth spirit flame because he was very familiar with the aura of a heaven and earth spirit flame. The previous wave of attack from the spirit sunflower temporarily blocked the ice spirit worms, but Qianfen soon felt a strong chill coming from behind him. When he used his divine sense to check, he was shocked. There was a large blue flame floating in the void behind him, and the ice spirit worms were crazily swarming towards him. Their numbers were increasing. "This is bad, Senior Qin. There are countless ice spirit bugs hiding in this river. What should we do?" Hong Chen-Wu had also noticed the situation. Just as she finished speaking, a giant dire wolf jumped out of nowhere and blocked the path in front of them, howling with its bloody mouth wide open. This time, the two of them fell into a situation where there were wolves ahead and tigers behind. The situation was extremely dangerous. Hong Chen-Wu frowned and her heart was in turmoil. At this moment, she even regretted entering the 9th layer of the domain of snow to search for the ice heart flame. She had dragged Qianfen down with her. Just as she was letting her imagination run wild, she felt her body suddenly become light. She was in Qianfeng's arms. The flying sword under Qianfen's feet sped forward, completely ignoring the dire wolf in front of him. When he was about to get close, he slashed out with his sword. A purple light flashed, like the afterglow of a wild grassland. Rumble. When the saber chi struck the icy plains wolf's body, a series of explosions rang out. This was a fully matured 7th rank spirit beast. The aura coming from its body was comparable to that of a body condensation stage cultivator. Qianfen's slash only temporarily stopped its movement and didn't cause too much damage. When the 7th rank icy plains wolf was struck, Qianfen flew past like a shooting star with Hong Chen-Wu in his arms. Although he wasn't afraid of the 7th rank spirit beast, he was a bit wary of the ice spirit bugs chasing after them. Crack crack. A series of cracking sounds came from behind them as if something was cracking. Qianfen and Hong Chen-Wu curiously used their divine sense to investigate, and they were instantly shocked by what they saw. The sky full of ice spirit bugs swarmed toward the 7th rank icy plains wolf's body. The tall and mighty wolf was instantly frozen in the air, and it even maintained its pouncing posture. The cracking sound came from the body of the icy plains wolf. After its body was frozen into an ice sculpture, it began to crack in just a few seconds. Finally, it turned into pieces of ice that scattered all over the ground. Senior Qin, let's run. Hong Qinwu was completely shocked by this scene. That was a 7th-rank spirit beast comparable to a body condensation stage cultivator, but it was instantly swallowed by those ice spirit bugs. She couldn't help but think of the scene where she met the 2 cauldron-filling state cultivators. Because they were too far away at the time, and because she was focused on escaping, she didn't pay too much attention to how those 2 died. But after seeing what happened to the icy plains wolf up close, Hong Qinwu immediately understood. Those ice spirit bugs are too fast. There's no point in just thinking about escaping. We need to find a way to fight back. Qinfen was also full of shock. The ice spirit bugs in this river were too terrifying. They could kill a cauldron-filling state cultivator in an instant. Hong Qinwu couldn't think of a way to deal with the ice spirit bugs no matter how hard she thought. Qinfen had a trump card, the hunting pincer, but after seeing the ice spirit bug's powerful freezing abilities, he didn't dare to release the hunting pincer. What if it instantly froze to death? However, there was a huge gap between his thoughts and reality. After the ice spirit bugs swallowed the icy plains wolf, they once again closed in on Qinfen and Hong Qinwu. Even though Qinfen had some misgivings, he had to release the hunting pincer to save the situation. Ever since it swallowed Zhang Sanhe's nascent soul, the hunting pincer had become a 1st-rank star beast. Its body hadn't changed much, but its skin had turned from golden to purplish black. There seemed to be a luminous pearl hidden in its stomach, emitting a faint light. That pearl was the beast core formed after it leveled up. When the hunting pincer appeared, it instantly became extremely excited. It opened its mouth wide and rushed into the swarm of spirit bugs behind it. Hong Qinwu was immediately stunned by the scene behind her. The hunting pincer floated in the swarm of ice spirit bugs fearlessly. Its mouth was like a powerful vacuum cleaner, sucking in tens of thousands of spirit bugs into its stomach. Senior Qin. What is this? Aren't they afraid of being frozen? Hong Qinwu cried out in shock. Even Qinfen was shocked by the hunting pincer's strength. He realized that his previous worries were unnecessary. He didn't explain the origin of the hunting pincer to Hong Qinwu. After a while, the remaining ice spirit bugs realized the power of the hunting pincer and fled. The hunting pincer didn't feel full yet. It planned to chase after them, but it was stopped by Qinfen in time. If this little guy ran far away and other ice spirit bugs flew out from the crevices in the mountain, Qinfen and Hong Qinwu would be finished. Achoo! When the hunting pincer flew back to Qinfen's shoulder, it sneezed and its body emitted waves of cold air. That sneeze spat out hundreds of ice spirit bugs that hadn't been digested. Hong Qinwu panicked, but in the next second the hunting pincer opened its mouth and swallowed all the spirit bugs back into its stomach. The scene made people speechless. Qinfen's heart finally calmed down a little. He really thought that this little guy was so powerful that it could defy the natural order. It seemed like it was also an existence of flesh and blood. At the same time, Qinfen once again sighed at the power of the ice spirit bugs. Or rather, the power of the wisp of flame on the ice spirit bug's antennae. It actually made the hunting pincer shiver in the cold. 2 people and 1 beast slightly adjusted their conditions, and then continued on their way. Qinfen kept moving upstream along the river. He wanted to find a source of water because the source of a river would usually grow precious spirit herbs. Because of the hunting pincer's appearance, they didn't encounter any more ice spirit bugs along the way. After walking for a whole day and night, Qinfen and Hong Qinwu found that the river had doubled in width, and the water in the river had increased a lot. Senior Qin, do you feel that the temperature is constantly rising? I feel like we're no longer in the 9 Heavens snow region, Hong Qinwu said. Qinfen nodded. He found that the environment became more suitable as they walked upstream. There were many low-level spirit herbs growing in the crevices in the mountain rocks, and even a small number of level 5 and 6 spirit herbs. The environment here was completely different from the harsh environment in the 9 Heavens snow region. No one would associate the 2 places together. Now that they were in a comfortable environment, Qinfen could finally calm down and think about some things. He suddenly realized that the environment in the 9 Heavens snow region was very similar to the extreme frost city in the Divine Great Land. When Qinfen went to the Divine Great Land to find Su Ruoro and the other women, he found out that the 3 women went to Poison Sun City. He searched through dozens of secret realms in Poison Sun City and finally subdued the Purple Dusk immortal fire in the legendary land of Heavenly Fire, which was now known as the Purple Flame. Then he fell into the extreme frost city and took away a 1,000-year-old ice crystal, which he named Suffocation. The environment in the Nine Heavens snow region was very similar to the snow source of extreme frost city. This reminded Qin Fen of the relationship between Poison Sun City and the Purple Cloud Valley secret realm. Previously, when he found the second violet flame in the Violet Cloud Valley secret domain, he knew that Poison Sun City had returned to the Divine Continent after the plane fusion 5 years ago. Could Extreme Ice City have also merged with the Nine Heavens snow domain? If things were as Qin Fen guessed, there were many things that he didn't understand. Extreme Frost City and Poison Sun City were originally in the Divine Great Land. Why did one go to the North Sand Continent and the other appear in the West Sea Continent after merging with the Divine World? Seeing that Qin Fen didn't respond after a long time, Hong Chen-Wu asked, "Senior Qin, is there something wrong?" Qin Fen came to his senses. He felt like he was in Mount Lu but didn't know the true face of Mount Lu. So he explained the problem to Hong Chen-Wu. Maybe an outsider could see more clearly. "Miss Hong, why do you think the two realms were originally in the same place? Why are they separated by 2 continents after changing planes?" Hong Chen-Wu didn't know the details of the matter, so she was confused. "Senior Qin, I don't quite understand what you mean. One secret realm is in the North Sand Continent, and the other is in the West Sea Continent. They were originally on the same land, so why are they separated by such a long distance?" Qin Fen said after pondering for a while. Hong Chen-Wu's big eyes that were not covered by the veil turned around. She suddenly said, "Maybe the distance between the 2 secret realms is not far." Qin Fen shook his head. "How can it not be far? The distance between the North Sand Continent and the West Sea Continent is millions of miles." Hong Chen-Wu didn't agree with him. She shook her head and said, "Senior Qin, you might have been restricted by common sense. Who says that the North Sand Continent and the West Sea Continent are millions of miles apart? There might be a secret passage that no one knows about." Chapter 2070. A secret passage that no one knew about. Qin Fen had a sudden realization, and the fog in his mind dissipated. If he hadn't been to Poison Sun City and Extreme Ice City, he definitely wouldn't believe that there was a secret passage between the North Sand Continent and the West Sea Continent. If there really was a secret passage, it would have been discovered by the cultivators of the 2 continents. However, when Qin Fen was at Poison Sun City in the Divine Continent, he had personally experienced falling into Extreme Ice City. Now, Poison Sun City and Extreme Ice City were in the Purple Cloud Valley of the North Sand Continent and Snowfield City of the West Sea Continent respectively. One could see that there really was a secret passage between the 2 continents. "Senior Qin, am I thinking too much?" Seeing that Qin Fen didn't respond, Hong Chen-Wu looked a bit awkward. Even she had guessed that there was a secret passage between the North Sand Continent and the West Sea Continent. However, thinking about it, Hong Chen-Wu felt that it was very funny. "Maybe you're right. This world is full of limitless possibilities." Qin Fen encouraged her. Hong Chen-Wu immediately became happy. Although she wore a red veil that covered her face, her big eyes were curved into crescent moons and were very enchanting. Qin Fen was mesmerized. Especially since he hadn't had sex with a woman in a while, Hong Chen-Wu's flawless figure under her red dress made him want to do it. Hong Chen-Wu noticed his burning gaze. She shyly lowered her head and said in a small voice, "Senior Qin, what should we do next?" Qin Fen was shocked and immediately retracted his invasive gaze. He felt very awkward. At the same time, he put away his messy thoughts. Whether or not there was a secret passage between the West Sea Continent and the North Sand Continent wasn't something he should think about now. His main goal in the 9th level of the snow region was to find the Ice Heart Flame. This place should be outside of the Nine Heavens snow region. However, since we're here, let's continue upstream. Maybe we can find some high-level spirit herbs. If we can't find anything at the source of the river, then we'll think of a way to leave and return to the 9th level of the snow region to continue searching for the Ice Heart Flame. "What do you think, Miss Hong?" Qin Fen told her his plan. Hong Chen-Wu nodded and agreed, "All right. I'll listen to Senior Qin." The 2 of them flew in the river valley for another day. This river was really long. They traveled for 2 days and still couldn't find the source. However, the 2 of them had gained quite a lot along the way. The further they went, the better the environment of the river became. The foot of the mountain on both sides was full of spirit herbs, and they could even try their luck to find 1 or 2 formed spirit crystals in the crevices of the mountain rocks. As for the ice spirit bugs, there had always been them and their numbers were increasing. However, with the hunting pincers on Qin Fen's shoulders, the ice spirit insects didn't dare to approach. "Senior Qin, there's someone up ahead." Hong Wu suddenly grew wary. Qin Fin had discovered the situation earlier than her. At this moment he had already released his divine sense. When his divine sense swept over the old man not far away, Qin Fin's expression changed drastically. Not good. It's the deputy sect master of the Three Purities formation, Sui Shan. Then let's hurry up and run, Hong Wu said anxiously. Qin Fin had killed a few disciples of the Three Purities formation in the Nine Heavens Snow domain, so he could be said to have formed a life and death feud with the Three Purities formation. However, he quickly calmed down. At that time, all the disciples of the Three Purities formation were killed, so there was no way for the news to spread. Even if Sui Shan's cultivation was extremely high, it was impossible for him to predict this kind of thing. After thinking through the key problem, Qin Fin quickly calmed down. Not only did he not run away, but he also walked towards Sui Shan. Qin Fin immediately discovered a few important things. First, this river had many ice spirit insects. With the hunting pincers, he could ignore the existence of the ice spirit insects, but Sui Shan clearly couldn't. Secondly, Qin Fin discovered that Sui Shan was actually only at the cauldron-filling realm late stage. There was still a huge gap between him and the true form realm mighty figure that he had imagined. However, on second thought, the Three Purities formation was only a 7-star sect, so it naturally couldn't compare to 8-star sects and families. Moreover, Sui Shan mainly cultivated formations, so his attainments in cultivation were only considered average. Senior Qin, what are you doing? Hong Wu looked at Qin Fin, who turned around with a puzzled expression. Miss Hong, there's only Sui Shan nearby. He's probably trapped by the ice spirit insects. Let's go and see the situation. After a few breaths, Qin Fin arrived in front of Sui Shan. Sui Shan was sitting cross-legged at the foot of a mountain. Around him was a rank 6 defense formation. Countless ice spirit insects floated around the edge of the formation like a circle of burning flames. From the aura of the formation, Sui Shan had been trapped here for a few hours. He had been repairing the broken formation with a serious expression. Where did you come from? Sui Shan suddenly saw Qin Feng and revealed an expression of disbelief. Before Qin Feng could reply, he immediately yelled, "Young hero, help me lure these flying insects away. After I'm out of danger, I'll definitely reward you handsomely." Qin Fin sneered inside. This Sui Shan had no good intentions. He was planning to sacrifice others to save his own life. Qin Fin had the hunting pincers, so he wasn't afraid of the ice spirit insects. If it was any other cultivator, they would be swallowed by the ice spirit insects. Sui Shan, why are you alone? Qin Fin ignored him and asked. Sui Shan was shocked and looked at Qin Fin again. You know me? Who are you? Who I am isn't important. I just want to ask, what did you guys find in this river? Qin Fin went straight to the point. Sui Shan was even more shocked. He didn't expect a cultivator to dare to come in. Actually, before Sui Shan and them entered the secret formation, they didn't know where the secret realm led to, but after coming in they knew this was level 9 snow region. Even a cauldron-filling late-stage cultivator like Sui Shan couldn't handle the extreme cold in the 9th layer of the snow region. What was worse wasn't the harsh environment, but the countless ice spirit bugs in the underground river. Not long ago, Wang Lu Zhongming's group was attacked by ice spirit bugs and scattered, which was why Sui Shan ended up in this situation. He could see that Qin Fin was only body condensation state level 4 and had a woman with lower cultivation. These two dared to come into level 9 snow region and didn't die. Why didn't the ice spirit insects attack you? Do you have a way to deal with them? Tell me and I promise I'll give you many treasures in return. Sui Shan quickly noticed something was wrong. Qin Fin obviously wouldn't believe him. He sneered. I'm asking you again. What treasures did you guys find after coming to this river? Sui Shan felt very sullen. He was the vice sect leader of the 7-star formation sect, the 3 clear formation. His status was extremely high in Shuiyu City. Even Vice City Lord Wang Lu Zhongming had to give him some face. Now he was being questioned by a body condensation state ant. Chapter 2071. Little brat, do you know who I am? I am the vice sect leader of the 7-star array formation sect, the 3 purities array formation. If you listen to me obediently, I can consider letting you join the 3 purities array formation and focus on training you. But if you don't listen, don't blame me for being rude to you after I leave. Sui Shan had used up his patience and wanted to use his identity to suppress Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng said indifferently, since you don't want to tell me, I won't force you. After I kill you, I'll continue to search upstream. Sui Shan stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. What did you say? Do you think an ant like you can kill this old man? Don't think I'm easy to bully just because I'm trapped here. I can kill you in the blink of an eye. Plus, I've set up a level 6 defense formation. Even if you attack, you can't break it. When she found out that Qin Fen wanted to attack Time Mountain, even Hong Qianwu was shocked. Although she knew that Qin Fen had killed Gao Tianxiang and Gao Mingxi, she and Fang Shu hadn't been there at the time, so they hadn't been able to witness Qin Fen's power. Who said I wanted to break the formation? Qin Fen had an indifferent attitude, as if the grade 6 defense formation before him was nothing to him. Sui Shan didn't know where Qin Feng's confidence came from, but he could see that Qin Feng's calmness wasn't fake. This made him feel uneasy. Since you can't break the formation, then scram. Otherwise, when I run out of patience, you and that little brat won't leave alive, Sui Shan roared to hide his uneasiness. Qin Feng smiled, the two of us won't leave. Not only will we not leave, but we'll continue to search upstream. If you really want to attack, then hurry up. Don't be so wishy-washy like a girl. Sui Shan, as the vice sect leader of the 3 Clear Formation sect, the only 7-star formation sect in Snowfield City, this was the first time Sui Shan had heard someone say that he looked like a woman. If these words were heard by others, they would be shocked by Qin Feng's audacity and arrogance. Qin Feng was indeed daring, but he wasn't arrogant at all. He was very clear about Time Mountain's current situation. If it wasn't for the protection of the rank 6 defensive formation, this old man would have died a few hundred times. Sui Shan was completely trapped in his own 6th level defensive formation. He couldn't get out, nor could he leave. He could only watch helplessly as the ice spirit insects crawled all over the formation and wait for others to come to his rescue. An ant junior who doesn't know his place. Do you really think this old man can't kill you? Sui Shan was furious. Qin Feng was unmoved. He said indifferently, then I'll give you 3 seconds. If you don't make your move, I'll make my move. Sui Shan had never been so sullen in his entire life. He could tell that Qin Feng was only at body condensation level 4. Normally he could kill a bunch of ants like this with one palm. But now that he was trapped by the ice spirit bugs, he had to focus all his energy on defending against them. He didn't have the energy to fight Qin Feng. This old man doesn't have time to deal with a grandson like you. If we meet again in the future, killing you 100 times wouldn't be a problem. Sui Shan's eyes were filled with resentment. Qin Feng sneered, Ha! Do you think you have a chance to get out? Since you don't dare to make a move, then I won't be polite. With that, Qin Feng circled around Sui Shan as if he was observing something. Sui Shan didn't understand, but he calmed down. In his eyes, Qin Feng was just a body condensation level 4 ant. So what if he really did make a move? He couldn't even break the defensive formation he set up. After a while, Sui Shan's mind wasn't on Qin Feng attacking him. He was curious why the ice spirit bugs didn't attack Qin Feng. Whoosh! Just as Sui Shan was confused, Qin Feng suddenly jumped into the air and the formation flags in his hands scattered down. They connected to form a white circle of light. Suishiyama was dumbfounded on the spot. He looked at the level 6 formation in a daze as if he had seen a ghost. He didn't even see what formation it was and what it did. You can set up a level 6 formation? Who are you? Sui Shan was shocked. Before Qin Feng could answer, his expression changed. He understood the effect of Qin Feng's formation. It changed the structure of the level 6 formation he set up and made it break on its own. At this moment, Sui Shan felt like he was struck by lightning. As a level 6 formation master, he knew more about the profoundness of formations than anyone else. Especially at level 6, it would form its own formation system. In other words, different formation masters, even if they set up the same formation, there would be countless formation structures. Qin Feng just walked around him a few times and saw through the level 6 formation he set up. Qin Feng forcefully changed the structure of the formation and made it break on its own. Hiss. The moment the formation broke, tens of thousands of ice spirit bugs rushed in. Sui Shan was still in shock from Qin Feng breaking the formation. When he came back to his senses, his body was already frozen into an ice sculpture. There was a slight cracking sound. In the next moment, Sui Shan's body cracked bit by bit. In the end, the cracks were like spider webs and he turned into glass shards. A formation master Cauldron Ekiana Almighty died just like that. It was hard for Hong Qianwu to accept it even though she saw it with her own eyes. Looks like even a Cauldron Ekiana Almighty can't resist the ice spirit bug's attack. I wonder if Wang Lu Zhongming and the other ultimate gods can survive? Qin Feng was also shocked by the scene in front of him and murmured to himself. A few seconds later, Sui Shan's broken body fell into the river and was washed away by the water. The water temperature was obviously above zero. The ice melted and disappeared at the end of the river. Let's keep going. Qin Feng came back to his senses and had already forgotten about Sui Shan. The two of them continued to fly upstream and finally reached the end of the river half an hour later. Senior Qin, this underground river seems to be the end. Hong Qinwu sounded a little excited. Qin Feng stopped his flying sword and landed on the ground. He had already scanned the area with his divine senses. There was a huge water source 200 meters in front of him. Above the water source was a layer of ice suspended in the air. The ice layer was so high that even Qin Feng's divine senses could not penetrate it. The water in the underground river was formed by the melted ice. The melted water droplets were not to be underestimated. After they gathered together, they fell like a raging waterfall and set off layers of waves. Senior Qin, where does the ice layer lead to? Hong Qinwu also tried to scan with her divine senses but could not penetrate the space above the ice layer. My divine senses can't penetrate it either, but I guess it's very likely to be the harsh environment of Nine Heavens Snow region. Qin Feng said. Chapter 2072. Hong Qinwu was shocked. The harsh environment of Nine Heavens Snow region? Didn't we already leave Nine Heavens Snow region? Qin Feng was also thinking about this question, but he had a new idea. Perhaps he and Hong Qinwu didn't leave Nine Heavens Snow region, but fell into a river at the bottom of the snow region. There was a high possibility that there was an unusual fire hidden in this river, which made the environment under the river as warm as spring. The unusual fire's energy was limited, so it could only change the climate of the river, but it couldn't affect the entire Nine Heavens Snow region. This was why there was a spectacular scene in front of them. There was a layer of floating ice at the water source of the river. The ice kept melting and new water vapor condensed into ice. Qin Feng told Hong Qinwu his idea, and she suddenly realized that Qin Feng's idea made sense. No matter what the truth is, it has nothing to do with us. Let's go into the cave first. I guess the unusual fire is in there. Qin Feng said, looking at the cave entrance above the water source. In fact, he had another guess that he didn't tell her. Wang, Lu Zhongming and the others had most likely entered the cave. However, regardless of whether this guess was correct or not, Qin Feng had to enter the cave to find out what was going on. As long as he entered, Hong Qinwu would definitely follow. Therefore, it was better not to tell Hong Qinwu about this guess so she wouldn't worry. The moment the two of them entered the cave on their flying swords, they immediately felt waves of coldness approaching. The bone-chilling cold was very familiar to both of them. It was similar to the harsh climate of Nine Heavens Snow region. However, what they saw was not the snowstorm of Nine Heavens Snow region, but countless ice spirit insects flying towards them. Hong Qinwu was already screaming in fear. She had seen with her own eyes how these little things devoured the late-stage cauldron-filling realm Senior Mountain. In the end, the old man's body disappeared along with the ice. Hong Qinwu wasn't afraid of death, but she didn't want to die so cruelly. There was no woman who didn't want to be beautiful. This saying was also applicable in the Divine Continent, where cultivation was the main focus. Hong Qinwu thought that even if she died, she would at least leave her corpse intact. However, her worries were completely unnecessary. When tens of thousands of ice spirit insects swarmed over, the hunting pincer had already rushed out. At first, the hunting pincer was surrounded, so it was difficult to notice his existence. He was even worried that it would be devoured by the ice spirit insects. However, after a few seconds, a strange sound came from the swarm of spirit insects. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief when he heard the sound. It was the unique chewing sound of the hunting turtles. Quang quang quang. Many ice spirit insects had been scared away, and the figure of the hunting turtle gradually appeared. It hovered in the midst of the swarm of spirit insects with its mouth wide open. It was as if a vacuum cleaner was hidden in its mouth as it devoured the spirit insects around it in a frenzy. These powerful insects that could instantly freeze a cauldron-filling state mighty figure had now become helpless little bugs that didn't even have a chance to escape. Time after time, time after time. In less than the time it took for half an incense stick to burn, the hunting turtle had already swallowed tens of thousands of ice spirit worms. It finally flew back to Qin Feng's shoulder. Its skin gradually turned from purplish black to pure black, and the faint white halo in its belly became brighter. "Oh no, master, the hunting turtles are evolving again," Little Pig said anxiously. Originally, the evolution of the hunting turtles was a good thing, but at this critical juncture, it became a bad thing. This was because the hunting turtles had to sleep every time it evolved, and it was uncertain how long it would sleep for. If it suddenly fell asleep now, Qin Fen and Hong Chen-Wu would soon be frozen to death by the ice spirit insects. My brother hunting turtles, don't fall asleep now. Hold on until we leave Nine Heavens snow region. Qin Fen was so anxious that he called brother hunting turtles. The hunting turtles understood his words, and its body shook a few times as if it was trying to wake up. After the tens of thousands of ice spirit insects entered its stomach, the hunting turtles didn't feel good. It was so cold that it was shivering, and it looked like it wouldn't be able to sleep for a while. Qin Fen didn't dare to delay any longer. He immediately pulled Hong Chen-Wu deeper into the cave. This cave was rich in spirit energy, and there were many spirit crystals on the stone walls. The ground on both sides of the tunnel was filled with spirit herbs and spirit flowers. It was dazzling to look at. Senior Qin, we seem to have found a treasure trove. Hong Chen-Wu shouted excitedly. She suddenly felt that the danger they encountered was worth it. Qin Fen, however, wasn't so excited. There was still a hint of seriousness between his brows. He caught some true essence fluctuations in the dense spirit energy, and each true essence was extremely powerful. Their cultivation was at least at the cauldron-filling state or even higher. Qin Fen immediately realized that this was the true essence aura left behind by Lu Zhongming and the others. It was obvious that the group of peak-revered cultivators from Snowfield City had come here. However, Qin Fen couldn't understand why they didn't take away the spirit crystals and spirit herbs in the cave. If those cultivators were too arrogant and couldn't see the spirit stones in the cracks of the walls and the large number of level 5 and level 6 spirit herbs growing on the ground, Qin Fen could understand. However, he quickly realized that this wasn't the case. There were many traces of fighting on the stone wall in front of them. It was obvious that a fierce battle had taken place in this cave. Qin Fen also guessed that the battle was not between revered cultivators, because the winner of the battle would definitely take away the resources. It was obvious that Lu Zhongming and the others were attacked by the ice spirit bugs, and then they fought back. As for the final result, Qin Fen couldn't be sure. In a short while, Hong Chen-Wu had collected over 100 spirit crystals. She was very excited, but when she looked up, she saw Qin Fen standing there in a daze. She immediately asked, "Huh? Senior Qin, why aren't you collecting spirit crystals? There are many level 5 and level 6 spirit herbs here. They can all be sold for a lot of spirit stones." Qin Fen came back to his senses. He looked deeper into the cave and said, "These cultivation resources outside the cave are nothing. Let's keep going." Qin Fen knew that the cave was full of danger. He didn't want to take Hong Chen-Wu with him, but he had no choice but to bring her along. There were ice spirit bugs in the cave and the river. If Hong Chen-Wu wasn't by his side, she would soon be frozen to death. The two of them didn't know how long they walked, but a white light appeared in the narrow tunnel in front of them. Qin Fen was pleasantly surprised. He knew that they had reached the end. At the end of the cave was a huge cave abode. There were countless small caves in the cave abode. When the two of them walked into the cave abode, they were immediately shocked by the abundant spirit chi. They couldn't help but take a deep breath. "Senior Qin, the spirit chi here is so dense. The air seems to be condensing into spirit stones at any moment," Hong Chen-Wu said in disbelief. It was also Qin Fen's first time seeing such a dense spirit chi holy land. Even the South Flat Continent and his astral world couldn't compare. He immediately realized that there was a spirit vein hidden under this cave abode. After thinking about it carefully, he remembered that there was a river under the cave abode. Could the river be the spirit vein? Chapter 2073. Qin Fen didn't believe that the river was a spirit vein, because he and Hong Chen-Wu didn't notice that the spirit energy in the river was so rich. But now wasn't the time to think about this. After Qin Fen entered the cave, he used his divine sense to capture some powerful true essence auras, which were the same as what he had found in the tunnel. "Is that Brother Zhou? Come inside the cave, there are many treasures here, we can split them evenly." A true essence voice came from the depths of the cave, as if it was speaking to Qin Fen and Hong Chen-Wu's ears. "Ah, Wang Lu Zhongming, don't count on that trash Sui Shan. He's only at the cauldron-filling realm, he can't resist the attack of the ice spirit bug. I think he's already dead in the river." But there are two strange true essence auras at the entrance of the cave, and they aren't very strong. How did they get in? The two juniors at the entrance, I am Xia Wanshi, the sect master of the Heaven Cultivation Sect, an 8-star sect in Shuiyu City. This is a cave dwelling in an ancient relic, and there are many treasures inside. As long as the two of you come in and help me, I will let each of you choose 10 items, and I will also allow you to join the Heaven Cultivation Sect. In the entire West Sea continent, an 8-star force was the top, and it was the dream of all young cultivators. But Qin Fin and Hong Wu didn't move. "Senior Qin, those powerful cultivators are really inside, we can't believe their nonsense," Hong Wu said quickly. Naturally, Qin Fin wouldn't let his guard down. Right now he was thinking about a question. Since Wang Lu Zhongming and the others had discovered his and Red Qin Wu's existence, with their powerful skills, why didn't they just come out and kill him and Red Qin Wu? Why did they have to throw out bait? After thinking about it, Qin Fin felt that there was only one possibility. Wang Lu Zhongming and the others were in trouble like Sui Shan, and it was very likely that they were trapped by the ice spirit bug. But with their cultivation, how could they be trapped by the ice spirit bug? "Senior Qin." Hong Wu saw that Qin Fin didn't respond, so she called him again. Qin Fin came back to his senses. "Miss Hong, since we found this cave, I want to go in and have a look." Hong Wu's eyebrows were slightly furrowed, and it was clear that she wasn't too willing to enter the depths of the cave. However, in the end she still nodded and followed Qin Fin in. Qin Fin had no other choice. If he didn't bring Hong Wu along, this woman would be frozen to death by the ice spirit bugs. However, if he let Qin Fin leave just like that, it wouldn't be his style at all. Qin Fin didn't dare to neglect the group of old monsters in the cavern. He took out all of the true artifact-grade defensive armors in his storage ring and shared them equally with Red Dust Dance. Then he set up a dozen or so different spell formations before bringing Red Dust Dance into the cavern. The deeper they went into the cave, the denser the spirit chi became. The walls and the top of the cave were covered with spirit crystals. The densely packed scene was amazing. The spirit crystals had their own light, illuminating the dark cave like twinkling stars in the night sky. However, these spirit crystals were not enough to attract Qin Fin and Hong Wu's attention. The cavern was filled with all sorts of spirit herbs and spirit plants, and there were also many treasure chests lying quietly in the corner. Almost all of the chests were open, and inside were true artifacts and medicinal pills. There were even a few ancient secret manuals. "Senior Qin, what is this place?" Hong Wu was shocked by the treasures on the ground. Even a rich cultivator like Qin Fin couldn't stay calm. He used his divine sense to scan the cavern. The lowest level of weapons and armor in the cavern was a low-grade true artifact grade, and the medicinal pills were all king grade. There were even a few medicinal pills that Qin Fin couldn't recognize. "This is probably the cultivation holy land of a powerful senior," Qin Fin guessed. Hong Wu said in disbelief, "Which powerful senior has so many cultivation resources? Has that powerful senior died? Why didn't he take these treasures with him?" Qin Fin couldn't answer Hong Wu's question. But that wasn't important anymore. It didn't matter if that powerful senior died or left, he was definitely not in this cavern. Otherwise he wouldn't have allowed outsiders to enter. "Senior Qin, let's quickly put away the treasures and leave this place," Hong Wu said. Qin Fin shook his head. "The treasures here are indeed precious, but Wang Lu Zhongming and the others didn't take them away. This means that there are even more precious things in the cavern. Let's hurry and take a look." Qin Fin completely calmed down after a brief shock. In fact, although the cultivation resources in the small cavern were rich, they were all things that he already had. Whether it was the true artifact armor, king-grade pills, or level 6 and 7 spirit herbs, they weren't enough to make him go crazy. This time, Qin Fin didn't stay in the other small caverns. He hurried to the place with the most spirit chi. Even though he saw many treasures along the way, he didn't really look at them. Hong Wu followed behind him, but she wasn't as calm as Qin Fin. She looked left and right along the way, almost drooling. "Juniors, I am Xia Wansher of the Heaven Cultivation Sect. Help me kill Wang Lu Zhongming." "Young hero, don't listen to Xia Wansher, that old bastard. He's sinister and cunning. After you save him, he'll kill you." "Ah. These two ants are only at the body condensation stage. Don't count on them. Just fight to the death with your own strength." When Qin Fin stepped into a spacious cavern, he saw Wang Lu Zhongming and the others. The spirit chi in this cavern was extremely dense, and the ceiling was suspended in the air. The exposed area was obviously man-made. When Qin Fin saw it, he couldn't help but sigh. He wondered how powerful the person who broke through the ceiling of this cavern was. After taking a quick look at the environment of the cavern, Qin Fin immediately focused his attention on Wang Lu Zhongming and the others. When he came in, he was still wondering why these peak-level revered martial artists of Snowfield City would be trapped in the depths of the cavern. Now he suddenly realized that they were fighting over treasures. After seeing the cultivation resources in the cavern, Qin Fin could completely understand how these peak-level revered martial artists felt. Compared to the treasures here, the treasures in the 10 or so small caverns outside were nothing to him. There was a peak-grade true weapon, a Tier 9 King Pill, a Tier 9 Spirit Grass, a Spirit Essence pond filled with Spirit Crystals, a faint blue flame trapped on a stone platform, and a small pile of strange stones thrown in a corner. Qin Feng's gaze immediately fell on the blue flame and the strange pile of rocks. He knew that the flame was undoubtedly a heavenly flame, but he couldn't tell what kind of flame it was. As for the strange pile of rocks, it was actually a pile of immortal stones. Master. That's the Ice Heart Flame, and it's a level 4 Ice Heart Flame. Little Pig suddenly shouted excitedly. Heavenly Fire level 9, Earthly Fire level 8. Qin Fen used 3 Fire Spirit Lotuses and tens of thousands of Fire Spirit Crystals to raise the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower to level 2, forming a 2-petal sunflower. He didn't expect that the Heavenly Fire Ice Heart Flame in this underground river had already risen to level 4. Are you sure it's the Ice Heart Flame? Qin Fen immediately realized another problem. Ever since he and Hong Chen-Wu fell into the underground river, they realized that the weather under the river was as warm as spring. There was no trace of the harsh weather in Nine Heaven's Snow Realm. This made Qin Fen think that he had left Nine Heaven's Snow Realm. He even thought that there was a Yang Fire attribute Heavenly Fire hidden in the underground river. However, he never expected that the flame here was actually the Yin Fire Ice Heart Flame. Master. The Yin Fire attribute Heavenly Fire has a special characteristic. It's cold on the outside and hot on the inside, Little Pig explained. Qin Fen didn't understand. If it's cold on the outside and hot on the inside, then the underground river should be cold. Why is it warm? I thought so too, but the Ice Heart Flame in front of us is already a level 4 Heavenly Fire. We can't look at it like a normal Heavenly Fire, Little Pig said. Rumor has it that a level 4 Heavenly Fire can change the weather. A level 7 Heavenly Fire can dominate an entire province. A level 9 Heavenly Fire can dominate an entire world. A level 9 Heavenly Fire can dominate an entire province. A level 9 Heavenly Fire can dominate an entire world. A level 9 Heavenly Fire can dominate an entire world. Top grade Heavenly Fire, one world is same sky. Qin Fen repeated Little Pig's words in his mind. He understood the meaning of those words. If the Heavenly Fire reached level 9, once it appeared, the sky of all 4 continents of the Divine Supreme Continent would become the same color. How spectacular would that scene be? Qin Fen understood why the underground river was warm. The Ice Heart Flame in front of him had risen to level 4, and when it appeared, the weather had changed. The Ice Heart Flame's influence covered a wide area. It covered the entire Snow Realm city, causing the city to be in a world of ice and snow all year round. Its so-called hot on the inside and cold on the outside extended to the entire underground river, while the cold on the outside was Snow Realm city. Why aren't you two saying anything? Are you all mute? Xia Wanshi waited for a while and didn't get a response, so he was a little dissatisfied. Wang Lu Zhongming immediately said, "Young hero, did you see that? Xia Wanshi's foxtail has been exposed. Don't fall into his trap. Otherwise you'll be swallowed whole." Qin Fen could see that the forces in this cave abode were divided into 3 factions. One faction was led by Wang Lu Zhongming, and they were all above cauldron-filling state. The other faction was led by Xia Wanshi, and they were also very powerful. There was an old man who formed his own faction. Qin Fen couldn't see through his realm at all. "Brat, this isn't a place you should be. Take advantage of the fact that you still have a chance to live and quickly leave with your people," said the old man who had formed his own faction. Xia Wanshi laughed. "Ah, what's wrong with the number 1 itinerant cultivator of Snow Realm City, Senior Silent Spirit? Is he afraid of the addition of 2 body condensation state cultivators?" Qin Fen was shocked when Silent Spirit's identity was revealed. This inconspicuous old man was actually the number 1 itinerant cultivator of Snow Realm City. This showed that his cultivation was at least above Wang Lu Zhongming's. Didn't that mean that he had reached the true form realm? Facing such a group of top cultivators, Qin Fen felt even more pressured. He even regretted coming here. Although the cultivation resources in this open-air cave were as plentiful as the clouds and there were many rare treasures, what was the point of leaving this place alive? Chapter 2074. But Qin Feng soon calmed down. He realized that these powerful cultivators seemed to be restrained by something and couldn't spare any extra energy. Otherwise he and Hong Chen-Wu would have been killed already. Or rather, if these people could still attack, why would they tempt him to attack? How laughable would it be to let a body condensation state cultivator fight disaster transformation state or even truth realization state cultivators? Young hero, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and kill Wang Lu Zhongming and the others. As long as they die, We can split the treasures in the cave abode, Xia Wanshi urged again. Qin Feng was even more certain of his guess. His originally panicked emotions gradually calmed down. He immediately looked towards the ice heart flame on the stone platform. This time, after careful observation, he found something fishy. There was actually a formation aura fluctuation around the stone platform. Moreover, the aura was ancient. It was definitely an ancient formation. Wait. Xia Wanshi and the others are at the base of the formation. They want to break the formation. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. When he found some clues, he followed the clues and found many problems. Although he couldn't see what kind of ancient formation it was, Qin Feng had a rough idea of its original form. This formation had 3 formation cores, which were exactly where Xia Wanshi's 3 teams were standing. Qin Feng guessed that they had originally planned to break the formation together and subdue the ice heart flame. However, for some reason, a fight broke out and now they became enemies. These people seem to be trapped. After another round of observation, Qin Feng made a new discovery. There was actually more than one ancient formation. There was also a trapping formation and a killing formation hidden within it, and they had already been activated. It was obvious that Xia Wanshi and the others had accidentally triggered them. They were currently trapped in the trapping formation, and the killing formation would be triggered if they moved even the slightest bit. Qin Feng understood what these powerful cultivators were thinking. No wonder they asked him, a mere body condensation state cultivator, for help. At the same time, Qin Feng realized that he had made a mistake. He had thought that the ice heart flame here grew wild and rose to a level 4 heaven flame by itself. Now, it seemed that someone had trapped the ice heart flame and used the ice spirit worm to nurture this fire seed. This reminded Qin Feng of the various spirit insects in the Thousand Insect Valley, the grade 9 soul nurturing formation on the 8th floor of the 13 palaces, and the terrifying black fog in the secret realm of the God-fallen island. Those places were controlled by almighties and used to feed some forces. Those were the real hierarchs of the divine continent. Even Xia Wanshi and the others paled in comparison. Miss Hong, go and collect the true weapons and pills in those treasure chests, Qin Feng suddenly said. The open-air cave residents quietened down in an instant. Everyone stared at him in disbelief. Hong Wu asked in confusion, Senior Qin, isn't it inappropriate? Nothing bad. This ancient cavern has a history of several thousand years, and the original owner of the cavern might have already ascended to the celestial realm. Anyone who sees the items here can have a share. Since Wang, Lu Zhongming and the other seniors are not interested, we will just take everything away. Qin Feng looked serious. All the mighty figures, they had never said that they didn't want the treasures in the cave. Hong Wu still didn't understand the situation and didn't dare to take the items in the cave residence. She was afraid that she would become a dead soul in the hands of those mighty hierarchs if she did anything. Don't be afraid. I have my reasons for asking you to do this. Qin Feng understood Hong Wu's concerns. Hong Wu didn't understand Qin Feng's thoughts, but she still chose to listen to Qin Feng. At least she knew Qin Feng wouldn't harm her. Young hero, what do you mean? Xia Wanshi was unhappy and his tone became cold. Jiling also said, Little girl, I advise you to leave quickly. Otherwise you won't even know how you died. Hong Wu was stunned by the surging true essence aura of these two powerful beings. She stood blankly in front of a treasure chest, not daring to do anything. Qin Feng, on the other hand, strode over and placed the 2 high-grade true artifact armors and 2 bottles of king pills into his storage ring. Don't be afraid, Miss Hong. Those seniors are just joking. With their status and realm, they won't be interested in the resources in this cave residence. We can just take them. Seeing that Qin Feng really took away a few treasures while Wang Lu Zhongming and the others didn't react, Hong Wu felt like she was dreaming. See, the seniors won't stop us at all. Hurry up and put away the other treasures. Qin Feng patted Hong Wu's shoulder and gave her an encouraging look. After Hong Wu came back to her senses, she didn't have any more worries and started to crazily sweep away the resources in the open-air cave residence. Wang Lu Zhongming and the others' eyes were red. They wanted to kill Qin Feng and Hong Wu. Unfortunately, they were all trapped by the ancient trap array, and any slight movement would trigger the killing array. They had already seen the killing array here. The injuries on their bodies were caused by the killing array, and a few relatively low-level mighty figures had almost died. In less than half an incense stick's time, Hong Wu had swept away all the treasures in the open-air cave residence. She ran back to Qin Feng excitedly, looked at Wang Lu Zhongming and the others and said, Senior Qin, why don't we share some of the resources with the seniors? Hong Wu still felt that it was inappropriate. This was the divine continent, where martial arts were respected. How could a junior eat alone in front of the seniors? Xia Wanshi and the others had an expectant look on their faces. It wasn't that they didn't want the treasures in the cave residence, but they were attracted by the ice heart flame as soon as they came in. Then they discussed to break the formation together and subdue the ice heart flame first. Who would have thought that they would be trapped in the formation and could only look at the treasures in the cave residence without being able to take them away? No need, Miss Hong. They have high standards and they won't be interested in anything in this cave residence, Qin Feng said. Everyone. I see. Then I'll hand over all the treasures to Senior Qin. Hong Chenwu took out a storage ring. Qin Feng smiled and said, there's no hurry. You keep these things first. We'll talk about it when we get out. Hong Chenwu's heart was warmed by Qin Feng's trust. She looked at the ice heart flame and said, Senior Qin, are we going to take that heavenly flame as well? Wang Lu Zhongming and the others' faces immediately fell to the ground. They could accept it if the king pills and spiritual herbs were taken away, but they would never give in to the ice heart flame. Qin Feng naturally knew what these people were thinking. Before they could explode, he said, we can't take that heavenly flame. Let's take the spirit stones over there first. Only then did Hong Chenwu notice the pile of stones in the corner of the cave residence. These stones were very strange. Whether it was the material or the shape, it was the first time Hong Chenwu had seen them. She didn't recognize that they were immortal stones, so she took the spiritual herbs first and ignored the real treasures. Qin Feng had been secretly observing the expressions of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others when he mentioned that he wanted to take the celestial stones away. When he saw that they only showed a hint of dissatisfaction but had no intention of stopping him, Qin Feng guessed that they didn't recognize the pile of celestial stones. However, this was not strange at all. The immortal stone was a stone that appeared in the immortal world, and the divine supreme continent was only a cultivation plane. Even top-notch experts like Wang Lu Zhongming had never come into contact with an immortal stone in their entire lives. Luckily, before Qin Feng came to the West Sea continent, he found the immortal stone formation in the Purple Cloud Mountain Range in the North Sand continent and learned about the existence of immortal stones. Otherwise, he would have thought those strange stones were spiritual stones or spiritual crystals. Wow! Senior Qin, are these top-grade spiritual stones? The spiritual qi in them is so dense. When Hong Chenwu approached the pile of immortal stones, she immediately noticed something strange. Qin Feng's heart tightened. He was afraid that the secret of the immortal stones would be discovered by Wang Lu Zhongming and the others. If they knew the truth, they would give up the ice heart flame to take the immortal stones. Don't talk so much. Quickly collect the spiritual stones, Qin Feng said quickly. Hong Chenwu replied with an oh, and sped up her collecting speed. But before she finished, Silent Spirit suddenly frowned. Those aren't spiritual stones at all. Little girl, take a stone and show me. Hong Chenwu didn't think too much and was about to throw an immortal stone to Silent Spirit. Qin Feng was shocked and quickly stopped her. Miss Hong, don't mind them. Collect the spiritual stones first. Hong Chenwu's heart tightened. She already realized that this pile of spiritual stones wasn't ordinary. Although she was worried about Silent Spirit and the others' powerful cultivation, she still listened to Qin Feng and quickly collected the rest of the spiritual stones. Silent Spirit immediately became angry. Brat, don't push your luck. You've already taken all the resources in the cave mansion. Can't I just take one spiritual stone? Qin Feng guessed that this old man had discovered something fishy. If he really touched the immortal stones, even if Silent Spirit didn't know they were immortal stones, he would still be attracted by the pure and dense immortal qi. At that time he would be in big trouble. It's just a pile of spiritual stones. Why would Senior Silent Spirit be interested in them? Said Qin Feng. However, Silent Spirit wasn't that easy to deceive. This old man had lived for hundreds of years and was extremely shrewd. Cut the crap. Quickly throw the stone to me. Otherwise, I'll make you spit out all the treasures you took. Hong Chenwu was anxious and looked at Qin Feng helplessly. It would be a lie to say that Qin Feng wasn't nervous facing the threat of an ultimate god who was very likely to step into the true form realm. However, he knew very well that he couldn't compromise now. Otherwise he would really die. Do whatever you want. Those items have already fallen into my hands. They're mine. Don't think that I'll yield to you just because your cultivation realm is high. Qin Feng's tone was extremely firm. Silent Spirit was so angry that he rolled his eyes. He was a dignified true form realm pinnacle mighty figure, but he was actually bullied by a body condensation realm weakling. If Snowfield City's cultivators heard about this, he wouldn't be able to live anymore. Young hero. Don't be afraid. Actually, we're all trapped by the array and can't do anything. I have no opinion on you taking the cave mansion's treasures. If you don't like that old man, you can kill him. Siawansher seized the opportunity and said. Chapter 2075. Silent Spirit was furious and scolded, Siawansher, you idiot. Do you really think that kid will help you? He's definitely not a kind person. How can a mere body condensation realm cultivator find this cave abode safely? Use your brain and think about it. Silent Spirit's words woke everyone up. Everyone was thinking about the treasures in the open-air cave abode and neglected how Qin Fen and Hong Qinwu came in. That's right. How did these two ants come in? The ice spirit worm outside is so terrifying that even Suishan of the Cauldron Realm died. How could they be alive? Could it be that both of them were hiding their cultivation? It's impossible for them to hide their cultivation level in front of a true form realm expert like me. I suspect that kid has a way to deal with the ice spirit worm, Silent Spirit shouted coldly. Qin Fen and Hong Qinwu were shocked. No wonder the old man called Silent Spirit was in a team alone. It turned out that he had stepped into the true form realm. Qin Fen was only at the body condensation realm level 4. Even if he could kill a cauldron realm cultivator, he was absolutely defenseless in front of an ultimate god. Silent Spirit continued, not only does this kid have a way to deal with the ice spirit worm, but he also found this ancient cave abode in 9th Snow Domain. He obviously came prepared. I believe everyone has heard of the legend about Snow Domain City. Thousands of years ago, Snow Domain City wasn't covered in ice and snow all year round. Rumor has it that an ice heart flame fell into Snow Domain City and caused a huge change in the weather. The ice heart flame is in front of you now, which proves the truth of the legend. There's also a story that few people know about. The ice heart flame was originally owned by the old demon king of the Black Demon clan. Hong Mo fought with Chu Fan, the #1 person in Snow Domain City at that time, and eventually died in Snow Domain City. The ice heart flame then fell into Chu Fan's hands. Later, rumor has it that Chu Fan ascended from the West Ocean continent. Now that the ice heart flame has appeared in this cave abode, it must be the place where Chu Fan ascended. When Silent Spirit spoke up to hear, everyone revealed a shocked expression. No wonder there were so many treasures in this open-air cave abode. It was the place where Chu Fan ascended to immortality back then. However, Silent Spirit threw out even more shocking news. There's another rumor that Chu Fan succeeded in ascending to immortality back then because he had the help of the Immortal Stone. I suspect there are immortal stones hidden in this cave abode. Immortal Stone? The eyes of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others immediately lit up. Being able to reach their current positions, how could they not have heard of the Celestial Stone? Although the Divine Supreme Continent was a cultivation continent, there were many rumors about the 8 great immortal herbs and immortal weapons. This vast continent did have items from the immortal world, so it was not surprising that there were immortal stones here. Only Qin Feng's expression was ice cold. He finally understood that Silent Spirit had said so much because he suspected that the stones he had asked Red Dust Dance to take away were immortal stones. There are celestial stones in this cave dwelling? Why didn't I notice? Siawansher immediately released his divine sense. The divine sense was extremely powerful. Qin Fen tried to touch it and instantly felt a sharp pain in his sea of consciousness. Siawansher wasn't the only one. When the others regained their senses, they also started searching the cave. They didn't even let go of a single corner. As for the ice heart flame, it had been temporarily thrown to the back of their minds. Compared to the immortal stone, the ice heart flame wasn't as important. However, after searching for a while, he found nothing. Siawansher's expression suddenly turned vigilant. He glared at Silent Spirit and yelled, "You made up a story to deceive everyone. What's your purpose?" The others also calmed down. If the secret of the immortal stone was true, Silent Spirit could have kept it a secret and taken the immortal stone for himself. Why did he have to say it? In fact, Silent Spirit had no other choice. If he wasn't trapped by the ancient trapping formation and the threat of the killing formation, why did he have to publicize this secret? Most importantly, he suspected that the immortal stone had been taken away by Red Dust Dance. If Qin Fen and Red Dust Dance turned around and left, what was the use of keeping the secret? Ignorant Junior, the immortal stone has been taken away by someone else. Of course you can't find it. Silent Spirit snorted. Siawansher suppressed his anger and didn't refute. He asked, "Who took the immortal stone?" Silent Spirit looked at him with amusement and said, "There are only the few of us in the cave dwelling. Who else do you think it could be?" Siawansher pondered for a moment. His gaze suddenly fell on Red Dust Dance. That hungry wolf-like gaze made Red Dust Dance's hair stand on end. You're saying that the strange stone that girl took away was the immortal stone? Silent Spirit said seriously, those must be immortal stones. Otherwise, why wouldn't these two ants take one out for everyone to see? More than a dozen powerful figures stared at Red Dust Dance at the same time. If it was an ordinary person, they would have knelt down in fear. Red Dust Dance hadn't reached that stage, but her body was shaking uncontrollably. This was a group of disaster transformation state or even truth realization state powerful figures. They could kill her with a raise of their hand. The atmosphere in the cave abode was murderous. Qin Fan didn't expect things to develop to this point. He didn't have time to curse Silent Spirit at all. He was quickly thinking of countermeasures. But there was no good solution. Since Xia Wanshi and the others discovered the secret of the immortal stone, how could they let it go? Don't listen to that old bastard's nonsense. How can there be immortal stones in this cave abode? If there were, they would have been taken away by Senior Chu Fan. Why would they stay here? Plus, you saw the spirit stones that Lady Hong collected just now. They were piled up like a small mountain. If those were all immortal stones, do you think it's possible? Qin Fan's words made sense. The expressions of some powerful figures became uncertain. You'll know if they are immortal stones or not when you take them out, said Ji Jing. Qin Fan wished he could sew this old man's mouth shut. If you want to see, I'll give them to you. Lady Hong, give him a spirit stone. Qin Fan deliberately emphasized the word, spirit stone. He believed that Red Dust Dance would understand what he meant. Red Dust Dance was smart. She took out a supreme-grade spirit stone and threw it over. After Silent Spirit grabbed the stone, he didn't even look at it. He said angrily, "Little ant, do you think I'm a 3-year-old? This is not the stone you just collected. It seems like you have a guilty conscience. I've already shown you the stone. If you still insist that there are immortal stones in the cave abode, then I have nothing to say. I'll take my leave first." Qin Fan originally wanted to put away the Ice Heart Flame, but the current situation was clearly unrealistic. He pulled Red Dust Dance and was about to rush out of the cave abode. He planned to find a place to use the immortal stones first. Such a treasure was really a time bomb. Once it was discovered, it would attract a fatal disaster. However, just as he rushed to the entrance of the cave, a giant True Essence Palm landed. The violent aura of the True Essence Palm seemed to be able to destroy the world. The several true artifact armors on the two of them instantly shattered. Qin Fan was shocked. He immediately threw out several array flags and threw out all the level 6 defensive array formations that he had already set up. Chapter 2076. Rumble. Loud noises reverberated in the cave abode. The 3 level 6 defensive formations shattered instantly. The violent True Chi shockwave sent Qin Fan and Hong Wu flying. A violent explosion came from the space where Ji Ling was. It was probably the ancient killing formation being activated. The killing formation shot out sword chi that was as dense as a net, injuring Ji Ling Puff. Ji Ling spat out a mouthful of blood and stopped his attack. He shouted coldly, "I'm sure those 2 ants took the immortal stones. They're trying to run now. If you don't act now, just watch the immortal stones get taken away by those ants." All the mighty figures came to their senses and immediately locked their divine senses on Qin Fan and Hong Chenwu. "Kid, I advise you to hand over those stones. Otherwise you're courting death." Xia Wanshi spoke first as if he wasn't the one who asked Qin Fan to deal with Wang Lu Zhongming. Qin Fan wasn't surprised. This was the law of the jungle in the divine supreme continent. In the face of treasures and resources, everyone would turn hostile at any time. "Those stones are mine. I won't hand them over. You're all trapped by the ancient trapping and killing formations. It's easier said than done to kill me." Qin Fan was firm. Hong Chenwu finally understood. No wonder these mighty figures didn't act and even watched her take away all the treasures in the cave abode. They were trapped by the ancient grand formation. "Senior Qin, you go first. I'll cover you." Hong Chenwu suddenly acted bravely. Qin Fan pulled her behind him and said quickly, "Take the things and leave first. I'll meet up with you soon." 2 ants who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth want to escape from me? So what if I'm trapped by the ancient grand formation? It's just a matter of raising my hand to kill you. Xia Wanshi's eyes were gloomy. Qin Fan replied, "Save it. Even that old man Ji Ling can't do anything to me. Do you think your cultivation is higher than Ji Ling's?" The corner of Xia Wanshi's mouth twitched. He couldn't refute. He slapped out in anger and yelled at the others, "There are at least a few hundred immortal stones there. Let's work together and split the immortal stones evenly. Rumble. While his voice was still echoing in the cave abode, 2 loud bangs rang out. Qin Fan's level 6 defensive formation had been used up, so he could only grit his teeth and slash out. However, as soon as that gorgeous purple light appeared, it was swallowed up by the true essence giant hand. The giant hand fell to the ground, collapsing the cave entrance and creating a giant pit in the ground. This palm strike was incredibly ferocious, but Qin Fan knew that even if it only contained a tenth of Xia Wansher's cultivation, Xia Wansher was already severely injured, and he still had to divert some of his energy to resist the ancient killing formation's attack. If he had used his full strength, Qin Fan and Hong Qinwu would have died on the spot. Xia Wansher immediately struck out with another palm as soon as the true essence hand was unleashed. The dense rain of swords fell down and collided with the floating true essence hand, producing dull sounds of impact. The gigantic hand shattered in the end, and thousands of sword chi landed on Xia Wansher's body. Xia Wansher fell to the ground, coughing up blood. This scene stunned Qin Fan and Hong Qinwu. Even if Xia Wansher didn't reach truth realization state, he was at least disaster transformation state tertiary stage or peak. Yet he was heavily injured by the killing formation. One could see how high the level of the killing formation was. After the 2 experts were injured, the others didn't intend to stop. Wang Lu Zhongming led the attack, and the other almighties attacked at the same time. Rumble. The entire cave abode shook as if a deadly lightning tribulation had fallen. Countless true essence giant hands covered the sky, layer after layer above Qin Fan and Hong Qinwu's heads. They looked like dense, overlapping clouds. This was the first time Qin Fan had sensed such a strong and clear aura of death. Under the clouds formed by the true essence giant hands, he felt an inexplicable sense of despair. Hong Qinwu raised her head slightly and stared blankly at the spectacular scene in the sky. She felt like she was waiting for death. Lady Hong, be careful. Qin Fan suddenly woke up. At that moment he felt like he could touch death if he stretched out his hand. He didn't have time to think. He immediately pulled Hong Qinwu and fled in the direction of the ice heart flame. There was an explosion behind them. The fierce true essence aura surged like a flame wave. The spirit armor on their bodies shattered layer by layer. In the end, their skin exploded and they vomited blood. After the violent explosion, the ice heart flame actually left the stone platform. It crashed into a sealed stone wall and disappeared. Qin Fan and Hong Qinwu also crashed into the space behind the stone wall. Where did those 2 ants go? Oh no. The killing formation is starting to counterattack. Let's work together to block this wave of attack. As for those 2 ants, they must still be in the cave abode. They can't escape. More than a dozen almighties worked together to resist the formation. Even so, they still fell to the ground with serious injuries. Fortunately, they managed to resist this wave of attack. After Wang Lu Zhongming adjusted his aura, he immediately used his divine sense to scan behind the broken stone wall. He frowned. There's something strange behind that stone wall. I can't scan it with my divine sense, Wang Lu Zhongming said. The other almighties also released their divine sense. They found that it was just as Wang Lu Zhongming said. There seemed to be something blocking their divine sense. They couldn't see what was happening in the depths. It should be an array that blocks divine sense. Since it can even block our divine sense, it must be an ancient array, Silent Spirit said. Everyone's heart sank. There were too many ancient arrays in this open-air cave abode. But this also confirmed Silent Spirit's guess. This must be the place where the number 1 person in Snowfield City, Chu Fan, ascended. From this, it could be seen that Chu Fan was very likely an array expert. The ancient array in this cave abode was set up by him. Unable to use their divine sense to check the situation behind the stone wall, Xia Wansher and the others could only worry. They were all seriously injured. It was impossible for them to break free from the ancient trapping array in a short time. They could only try to break the array after they recovered. Miss Hong, are you okay? In the depths of the stone wall, there was actually a small hidden cave abode. The area of the cave abode was less than 1/10 of the exposed sky cave abode, but the spirit chi inside was denser. Moreover, there were immortal stones all over the ground. It was unbelievable. The combined attack of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others could be said to be a devastating blow. Qin Fan didn't have a single intact skin on his body. Even his dantian and divine sense were severely injured. Fortunately, he barely survived. However, Hong Qinwu was lying on the ground a few meters away, motionless. It was unknown whether she was dead or alive. Miss Hong? Hurry up and wake up. Qin Fan crawled over with difficulty. When he felt that Hong Chen-woo's pulse was still beating, his worried heart finally relaxed. However, Hong Chen-woo's injuries were even more serious. Her entire dantian was crippled, and her divine sense was in a completely chaotic state. She had lost consciousness. Using the medical standards of Earth, she was a vegetable. But these conditions could be cured by Qin Fen. As long as Hong Chen-woo wasn't dead, he would always have a way to wake her up. Qin Fen immediately took out some qi consolidating and healing pills and placed them in Hong Chen-woo's mouth. The pills melted in her mouth and flowed through her veins. After settling Hong Chen-woo down, Qin Fen also ate some healing pills. When the chaotic aura in his body calmed down a little, he opened his eyes and carefully observed his surroundings. This small cave abode was completely sealed. If it weren't for the explosion that had shattered the stone wall, no one would have been able to find this place. The other 3 stone walls were covered in spirit crystals, and there were also some beautiful crystals as decorations. In the southwest corner, there was a square table made of supreme-grade spirit stones. There was an unfinished cup of spirit tea on the table. However, because it had been too long, the spirit tea had already solidified and turned purplish-black. Qin Fen quickly realized that this was the place where Senior Chu Fan cultivated in seclusion in the past. The cave abode was rich in spirit energy, and people couldn't help but wonder if there was a spirit vein hidden underground. However, Qin Fen wasn't in the mood to look for that spirit vein. Although he had barely survived the powerful attack of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others, those old monsters were still outside the cave. The danger hadn't been eliminated yet. After so long no one had come in. Qin Fen realized that those old monsters weren't in a good situation. They had most likely been severely injured by the killing formation and were currently recovering. He extended his divine sense, wanting to see what was going on, but he found that he couldn't sweep it out at all. Master. The ice heart flame is in the small cave abode. Wait for Master to subdue the ice heart flame, then think of a way to leave this place, Little Pig suggested. Qin Fen had long discovered that the ice heart flame had flown into this cave abode. At this moment, it was hanging motionlessly in a corner of the wall. Strange flames like this all had intelligence. Moreover, this ice heart flame had already risen to level 4. Its intelligence wasn't inferior to that of a human's. Whoosh! Qin Fen experimentally slashed out with his blade. A purple light flashed, and in the next second, it fell into the ball of fire of the ice heart flame. The flame instantly split into 2 halves, but in a breath's time, it merged back into one as if nothing had happened. This slash seemed to have angered the ice heart flame. The flame instantly rose and burned the roof of the cave abode. However, this fire was incomparably cold. The air in the small cave abode immediately froze. The layer of ice quickly spread and finally covered the entire cave abode. When it touched the soles of Qin Fen's feet, it instantly froze him into an ice sculpture. Damn. You think I'm a vegetarian? Qin Fen had just been suppressed by Wang Lu Zhongming and the group of old monsters. Now he was being suppressed by a strange flame of heaven and earth. His heart was filled with anger. He immediately activated the spirit sunflower sky flame. When the fire's intensity rose, he could clearly feel the ice heart flames panic. Little guy, you better retract the fire. We can coexist peacefully, Qin Fen said. The ice heart flame didn't believe him. Although it was only in the form of a ball of fire, Qin Fen seemed to see a vigilant face. Facing this level 4 heavenly flame, even with the spirit sunflower sky flame's protection, Qin Fen was gradually unable to endure it. Now he was most worried about Hong Chen-woo, who was lying on the side. If this continued, Hong Chen-woo would definitely freeze to death. I have no ill intentions towards you. If you want to leave, you can leave at any time. Qin Fen had no choice but to temporarily give up on the idea of subduing the ice heart flame. With his current cultivation and body's condition, forget subduing a level 4 heavenly flame, he would already thank the heavens and earth if he could survive. Chapter 2077. The ice heart flame flew toward the broken stone wall, planning to escape. However, although the stone wall was broken, there seemed to be an invisible shield around it. It couldn't fly out at all. Qin Fen quickly discovered the situation. There was actually a hidden ancient defensive formation on the stone wall. However, there seemed to be a crack on the formation and it was rapidly repairing itself. It was very likely that the crack had been caused by the combined attack from Wang Lu Zhongming and the others. When Qin Fen discovered that there was an ancient defensive formation protecting the entrance of the hidden cave dwelling, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. Currently, Wang Lu Zhongming and the others were trapped in the defensive formation outside and were all heavily injured. Moreover, there was also an ancient defensive formation outside the cave dwelling. Even if those old monsters were to find their way in, it would be a long time before they could do so. Since his life was saved, Qin Fan started to think of a way to get out of this situation. If he took Hong Qinwu and the celestial stones out now, it was definitely unrealistic. It was very likely that he would die instantly. He looked for other exits in the small cave abode. After a while, he realized that this small cave abode seemed to have only one entrance. Since I can't get out, I might as well just cultivate here. No matter what, these celestial stones can't be taken advantage of by those old monsters. Qin Fan gritted his teeth and sat down cross-legged. He didn't care about the ice heart flame anymore. Anyway, this level 4 heavenly fire couldn't escape. It seemed to realize that Qin Fan didn't have any dangerous aura. The ice heart flame quietly hid in a corner. The bone-chilling coldness in the small cave abode started to dissipate and the ice layer quickly melted. Qin Fan was already in the zone. He didn't choose to cultivate under the Tree of Life in the astral world. Although cultivating under the Tree of Life could get twice the result with half the effort, to prevent Wang Lu Zhongming and the others from suddenly breaking in, he still felt that staying in the small cave abode was safer. Wang Lu Zhongming and the others were a group of disaster transformation or even true form realm experts. If he used the system in front of them, who knew if they would find out that something was wrong? Although he didn't have the Tree of Life, Qin Fan put on the Life Celestial Armor. The Life Celestial Armor was made from the branches of the Tree of Life, so its effect was very strong. The spirit chi in the small cave abode was already very dense, but it clearly didn't meet Qin Fan's needs. He quickly set up a level 6 spirit gathering array and threw a dozen celestial stones into it to activate the array. Under the effect of the formation, the energy stored in the immortal stone was released, and this energy was transferred into Qin Fan's body through the power of the formation. When the immortal chi entered his body, Qin Fan's body trembled and he felt refreshed. He was absolutely sure that these were immortal stones. The energy they contained was extremely pure and powerful. It was not something the divine world's spiritual energy could compare to. Logically speaking, the higher the level of cultivation, the more obvious the bottleneck obstruction would be when breaking through. Under normal circumstances, one would need the assistance of medicinal pills to break through. Moreover, the pills required for a hollow spirit state cultivator to break through had already reached the level of a Tier 6 Tier 7 King pill. Qin Fan was currently a Tier 6 Tier 7 pill king, so it was a little difficult for him to concoct pills for a body condensation state cultivator to break through. However, with the help of the celestial stone, it was as if the bottleneck did not exist. In just a short 2 hours, Qin Fan's body emitted a loud sound and he stepped into body condensation level 5. Even Qin Fan felt it was unbelievable that he could break through so quickly. However, after calming down and thinking about it, he realized that he had been at body condensation level 4 for a long time and had experienced many life and death battles. The reason why he couldn't break through was because of the bottleneck. After understanding the great use of the celestial stone, Qin Fan was overjoyed. He threw all caution to the wind and focused on cultivation. 3 days later, Qin Fan successfully stepped into body condensation level 6. 7 days later, he broke through to body condensation level 7. A month passed in the blink of an eye. When Qin Fan opened his eyes again, he found that all the celestial stones on the ground had been absorbed by him and turned into a layer of stone powder. The spirit gathering formation had dimmed because it did not have a sufficient supply of spirit chi and had stopped working. The cave that was originally rich in spirit chi became a place where spirit chi was sparse. Qin Fan didn't dare to imagine how much spirit chi he had absorbed in the past month. He still remembered the scene when he first entered the cave and was shocked by the celestial stones scattered all over the ground. "Master, congratulations, you've stepped into the cauldron-filling realm." Little Pig's excited voice sounded. Qin Fan immediately sensed the aura of his true essence. That aura was as steady as the calm sea, but as he urged it with his mind, it instantly surged like a raging wave. His primordial spirit had already condensed and transformed, forming the embryonic form of a nascent soul. Only now did Qin Fan deeply understand the power of a cauldron-filling realm cultivator. It was not something a body condensation realm cultivator could compare to. "Senior Qin, you finished your closed-door cultivation?" Hong Qinwu's voice suddenly sounded in his ear. He didn't know when this woman had woken up. "Miss Hong, how do you feel?" Qin Fan hurriedly asked her about her situation. Because he was too engrossed in his closed-door cultivation, he had forgotten about Hong Qinwu. "My dantian has been destroyed. I can no longer cultivate in this life. Hong Chenwu was depressed. Even in the West Sea continent, she had never heard of the existence of a pill that could repair a dantian. Qin Fin had long since checked Hong Chenwu's physical condition. He knew that not only had her dantian been damaged, but her divine sense had also been severely damaged. However, Qin Fin didn't think much of it. After all, he had medicinal pills that could repair her dantian and divine sense. Miss Hong, try swallowing these 2 pills. Qin Feng took out 2 jade bottles. Hong Chenwu took the 2 pills with a puzzled look. She realized that she had never seen these 2 pills before. However, she was a knowledgeable cultivator, so she quickly realized that they were 2 king pills. Senior Qin, why are you giving me 2 king pills? My dantian has been destroyed, so I'm already an ordinary person. You should keep such precious pills for yourself. Hong Chenwu refused. Miss Hong, these 2 pills are the returning field pill and the perfuming consciousness pill. The returning field pill can repair a damaged dantian, while the perfuming consciousness pill can repair the divine sense C. Hurry up and eat them, Qin Feng explained. Speaking of the returning field pill, he had refined it after entering the 9 Heavens snow domain and found a level 9 caterpillar fungus in the first layer of the snow domain. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to help Hong Chenwu. After learning about the effects of the 2 pills, Hong Chenwu was shocked. She looked at Qin Feng in disbelief and said, Senior Qin, you're not joking with me, right? Do you think I have the mood to joke with you at a time like this? Qin Feng's expression was serious, but Hong Chenwu was still skeptical. It wasn't that she didn't trust Qin Feng, but she had never heard of a pill that could repair a dantian and divine sense C. It probably didn't exist in the entire divine continent. Although she didn't have much hope, Hong Chenwu swallowed the 2 pills in the end. Previously, Qin Feng couldn't see through Hong Chenwu's cultivation level, but now that he had stepped into the first layer of the Cauldron Ekiana realm, he found that this young woman had already stepped into the first layer of the body condensation realm. It was obvious that she was also a cultivation genius. The pills melted in her mouth and soon they began to take effect. Hong Chenwu's beautiful eyes shone with disbelief. Her dantian was clearly destroyed, but she gradually felt the surging of true qi. 2 hours later, Hong Chenwu cried out in surprise, Senior Qin, your pills are really effective. I can feel my dantian regenerating quickly, and my divine sense C is also recovering. Qin Feng was very confident about the effects of the perfuming consciousness pill because he had taken it before, and the effect of repairing his divine sense C was outstanding. However, he was a little uncertain about the rejuvenating pellet. After all, this was his first time refining it. Now that he saw Hong Chenwu's dantian regenerating, he was relieved. In just 3 days, Hong Chenwu's body had recovered by more than half. She was no longer able to cultivate, and the joy she felt was indescribable. Moreover, Qin Feng also discovered a great effect of the rejuvenating pellet. If a cultivator's dantian was taken in a short period of time, the regenerated dantian would retain the cultivator's previous cultivation level. The power of this pill was beyond Qin Feng's expectations. He couldn't help but think that once the rejuvenating pellet came to light, it would shake the entire divine continent. Hong Chenwu had already started using the immortal stones to cultivate. Qin Feng released his divine sense and found that he still couldn't see the situation outside the small cave dwelling. He learned from Hong Chenwu that he had been in seclusion for more than a month, but Wang, Lu Zhongming and the others still hadn't found him. Qin Fen didn't believe that those people had left. Whether it was the immortal stones or the ice heart flame, they were precious treasures on the divine continent that could only be encountered by luck. To Ji Ling, if he obtained all the immortal stones in this cave, it was highly possible for him to ascend to the immortal realm in a few decades or 100 years. Since those people hadn't found him, it could only mean that they were still trapped in the open-air cave dwelling's ancient defensive formation. The defensive formation's power was beyond Qin Feng's expectations. It had actually trapped a group of disaster transformation state and true form cultivators for more than a month. Qin Feng knew that even if he had entered the Ekiana Cauldron realm, he couldn't break the small cave dwelling's entrance's defensive formation and leave. He might as well check inside the cave dwelling. Maybe he could find some ultimate treasures. A cowhide scroll on the supreme-grade spirit stone table attracted him. When the scroll was opened, an ancient aura spread out. That aura was clearly from a long time ago, but it was still intact. It had an irresistible and powerful aura that shocked Qin Feng. Fortunately, it was just a ball of vital essence left on the cowhide scroll. It didn't have any offensive effect. Qin Feng felt like he had escaped from death, so he immediately raised his guard. There were 5 big words on the first page of the scroll: Great Dao Heaven Development Technique. There was a name on the second page, Chu Fan. Qin Feng immediately understood that this technique was probably written by Chu Fan, the #1 person in Snowfield City. This cave dwelling was indeed the place where Chu Fan had secluded himself to prepare to ascend to immortality. Since there were still many immortal stones and treasures in the cave dwelling, and Chu Fan had disappeared, Qin Feng guessed that the Almighty Senior had most likely ascended to immortality and left. However, he couldn't understand where Chu Fan had gotten so many immortal stones from. The pages of the scroll turned automatically. The last few pages recorded the Great Dao Heaven Development Technique. Qin Feng only glanced at it briefly and guessed that this was at least a high-grade heaven-level technique. There were very few heaven-level techniques in the entire Divine Continent. If an ordinary person saw the Great Dao Heaven Development Technique, they would be extremely excited. However, Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. After obtaining the Fortune of Heaven and Earth technique, other techniques couldn't enter his eyes at all. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.